removed from the pool.
So
we'll see what he ends up playing this game.
Yeah, Tiny wants to squash that bug, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Tiny's actually pretty good versus Weaver, though. If you're able to like, kind of jump into him with their Echo Saber, doesn't matter how much strength Weaver gets, he's always going to be, like, bursted down immediately. Crystal Maiden? Seen that in a while, huh? One of Ninja Boogie's specialties right there.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I mean, there was a point not too long ago where Crystal Maiden was just the support, far and away considered to be pretty much the best support in the game, but did get nerfed pretty heavily, but still decent. The mana regen certainly going to be helpful for the Kunkka and the Weaver here, especially the Weaver in lane. And what else? She does have that attack speed talent later on as well. So, you know, if Crystal Maiden gets enough farm, we could look at a situation where it's actually just CM solo killing the egg in the ultra late game. It's weird, but it can happen.
That's why that CM was picked. You're farming for that level 20 right there.
Yeah. It's not even 25. It's not like Dark Willow. You don't have to get all the way there. You just have to get level 20. It's no problem.
You're good, man. You're good.
Yeah,
don't
just
worry.
an easy Midas. You don't need any other items on Crystal Maiden. You're doing your job just by being alive. If you buy items,
at that time, Weaver's gonna get his 30% EXP. And he's going to be 25, and he's going for the triple hit as well. And oh my gosh, look at that synergy already, man.
Yeah, they've got it all solved. Lotac, alright, they've been picking this a lot. I feel like I've seen Ohio just get the last two games that they played, the previous series, against Admiral. He just had a completely free lane both times, so I don't know. To me, Centaur always, at least in this meta, feels a little bit greedy because you always want to get your Hood or your Vanguard and then go into the Blink, but Ohio just keeps getting these absolutely free lanes, so they're really making it work. And this is just even more AoE teamfight and some more lockdown for the Weaver. What's your take on the Centaur pick?
It's pretty good. I mean, both Tiny and Centaur work very well versus Weaver. Weaver can never really focus down a Centaur. Well, it kind of really depends. Like, if Weaver has a snowbally start and Centaur has a rough start, then yeah, Weaver generally does well. But if they both have an even start, then I mean, Centaur does fairly well against because of his return.
Yeah. And
you have good stun lockdown, you have good burst, you know, to kill this Weaver. Yeah. But like I said, if he farms his fast diffusal or he gets his like mana break spell, then it's really difficult for Centaur to honestly do anything in that aspect. Huskar, that is a good pick. I like that pick a lot.
I want to see the TNC. I want to see some Timbersaw here. Is this not like? Is this not 4 strength heroes with the Train Protector? Is this not? I mean, there is a lot of damage to kill him. There is a lot of magical damage, and the roots are annoying. But yeah, there you go. Timbersaw ban. There is no way that you want to let Timbersaw through against this this lineup.
Yeah, actually. Let's see who was the last pick. Oh no, TNC has to pick again here, right?
Yeah, they ban, they pick, and then Lotac have the last pick for their mid, I suppose. I would guess Tiny's probably heading to the safe lane, kind of. And then TNC, they still got options here. It could be Kunkka, Weaver, Huskar as the Tricore. If they really wanted to do like Oracle to go with the Huskar, they could make that work. Otherwise, probably just Kunkka position 4 and then picking another core in this position. What are they lacking? They've got some catch, but it's pretty much all on the Kunkka. That's kind of it. So I don't think a little bit more lockdown would be too bad.
TNC should have opened up with the 4th pick Timber. Might have been more ideal.
And then they could have taken Huskar. Yeah.
No. But I mean, Huskar was such a good pick at the same time because it was more. I think Huskar was a better pick in comparison to Timber. Like it's less risk, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the Timber would have been very much about like whether or not he survives the burst. So like he'd need to get his Hood relatively early and kind of get into a couple of items. Meanwhile, Huskar is just guaranteed, right? He's got Berserker's Blood. He's gonna be pretty okay this game.
They have good setup for the Huskar. I mean, like Weaver can still go Ags. They have the rum for the Kunkka boat as well. So
yeah,
and of course the Crystal Maiden with his aura, like Huskar's gonna be able to spam his heal throughout the game as well. So it's a pretty big deal because, you know, usually when you see during the mid game or late game when he's going high ground, he's usually lingering with like 100 to 200 mana, but he should be like full mana throughout the whole game, you know, whether he has a stick or a soul ring on top of the maiden.
Yeah, and we never even really get to see Huskar casting Inner Vitality on other people, but like if you have a little bit of extra mana to spare, that can actually be some nice sustain for the other heroes this game. So TNC really thinking about this.
They wanted that Timber, I feel, and obviously that was the cool pick.
Beastmaster. This hero has been dead for a little bit. Like he's just. I remember looking, I think 3 days into the qualifier, and he'd been across the 3 regions that had been played. He hadn't been picked or banned at all. But the attack speed's certainly nice. They've got lots of early push and snowball. This is a very TNC kind of lineup. I like the little bit of extra lockdown that they've also added in here, but
it's a synergy, man. It's more attack speed. Like Huskar's gonna get low. Beastmaster with his aura, Crystal Maiden, and Weaver with the double hit and attack speed just to kill the egg, and that egg is gonna be bursted down in like 2 seconds, man. Not even 2 seconds.
Until everybody gets overgrowth, and then stomped and avalanched, and then the supernova pops, and things get real ugly. So, I guess we'll have to see.
Thinking what they need some sort of crazy, is it hard carry or mid? Because Tiny can still play. No, Tiny's not gonna want to play mid. What a good hero versus Huskar.
They need somebody to hit buildings, I think, as well. Well, actually, they've played this kind of lineup before with just 3 beefy cores, and they didn't even really have a building hitter, but they just kind of walked up onto the high ground with 3 heroes close to 4k HP, and just like, well, we don't kill buildings very fast, but you can't get us off the hill, so say goodbye to your tier 3.
Let's bring back some Viper, man.
Maybe if they want the break. Viper always feels like you look at it like, oh, how do we get break for whatever hero, like for Spectre or for Huskar, and then you realize, wait, shit, we picked Viper. Like, it's just not a very happy situation. Neither team feeling very happy about these or confident about these last picks. Like everybody dipping really deep into their reserve time to no snap picks or anything coming out. Lotac got to make the decision now. All right, last second, you called it, Jimmy. There you go. We do get the Viper.
Awesome. I was gonna say, dude, if it was me and it was in a pub, I would solo mid Ancient Apparition.
Oh yeah,
that is the play.
That's the truth in this situation.
Yeah, man, I can solo kill this Huskar, man. In the 1v1 scenario, you do pretty good. But those are my pub plays, so that's classic Jimmy there. Let's go back to casual Jimmy casting here.
Kick your feet up. That's
I think Viper's a good pick. They have good lockdown. They have the Treant, they have the Tiny, and they have Centaur. Good lockdown, good stuns for the break on the Huskar. And they actually really desperately did need someone that can lane versus Huskar. There's not a lot of heroes that can generally do well versus him, man. Hey, man, you know.
Does Viper do well versus Huskar in lane?
He does well. I mean, he can lane. Let me rephrase it. He can lane versus Huskar. In comparison, like, you know,
it's a Tiny,
a lot of these other
can't
heroes,
do anything. Yeah.
You can't lane. Sure. Alchemist, you can't lane. OD. OD Huskar is a weird matchup. It's more favor in Huskar. What else did people used to do? There's other matchups too, but I think Bloodseeker can do well too. I've heard. I haven't really seen it.
If the side lanes go well, is that how that goes? Is it like a
partially side lanes, but you kind of you get your level 2. And you ferry 2 salves over kind of thing. This is what I heard. And you just man fight him, and then you just salve up and man fight him again. And your side lane is winning is very, very beneficial, and it'll make it more favorable for Bloodseeker. And then you can basically you're out-regioning Huskar, because not only do the salves help, but then you're also last hitting the creeps too.
Yeah. My concern about the Viper this game is that they have plenty of physical damage to kill him, and he's also relatively immobile. Like I can even see him dying here if Huskar's 6 and then Tim's runs over, maybe he's level 3 with 2 points in the X, and if he gets X torrented, I think he just straight up dies, but we'll see. Viper does have decent kind of scaling potential if he gets out of the early game, and I feel like people underestimate how good Viper can be kind of in the late game with items, but for Viper to get items, he needs to just kind of keep farming the entire game because he's not much of a flash farmer.
So thinking about it again and remembering, this Viper is actually favorable in this matchup because he outranges him, outslows him, and the fact that he's also going to have a ward on his hill, it gives him even a bigger advantage. So basically, you know, you kind of just orb him, and then if he hits you once with the corrosive skin, or when you hit him and that flaming or the fire is going to be lingering, he's going to be slowed the whole time, and you kite him with your poison attack per hit. So you should be able to get 3 hits or something prior to his 1.
This is the nice thing about playing the Beastmaster versus the Terrain Protector. You just see Cuckoo run straight down to bottom and just chop down all the trees. He's going to make it very difficult for Yamate to play down here. Though the answer for the Terrain Protector, as you've already seen, is just don't even skill Nature's Guise. Just wait with Leech Seed. Tim's, what are you doing running around this corner here, buddy? What is happening? He's going to throw the Torrent down. Is that going to save him? Nope. One more auto attack from AU finishes the kill. Gabby Shikuchiing through, but it's such a long cooldown on the Shikuchi at level 1. Ninja Boogie.
He baited his own Pinoy brethren right there again, once again.
Alright, well, it looks like Lotac gonna grab both of these bounties. Wow. Cuckoo only gonna get the 1 for TNC, so Lotac off to a hot start. And we'll see if they can keep this momentum going with the Centaur Trent lane, AU.
LFY Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio he's changed teams a lot, and he's always a little bit lazy, I've found, in terms of actually jumping on to like the new in-game team. I can think of multiple different times where I've cast him and he's like got the previous team tag. It's confusing because Lotac also starts with L, so I keep like almost saying LFY, but LFY's dead. No more multi-team organizations.
You can still have them. It doesn't really matter. It's just only one of them can go to TI. You get Pain, right?
That's
Pain
true.
X and Pain Gaming. They don't. They're like, man, only one of our team's going to TI anyway. So. Who knows, man? This is like I said, this matchup in mid is pretty important. Like I say, whoever gets to level 2 is a pretty big deal because you know if Huskar gets this level 2 first, he can actually just right click this Viper down. But now the fact that Viper is already level 2, we can out harass him and. And Armel knows, so he knows this matchup already. So you can't really go Burning Spheres against this Viper because you're gonna have that lingering corrosive skin on you. Just out regen him, I guess, with the Berserker's blood and just right click him down with the extra regen that he'll have.
Yeah, he'll be able to spam this Inner Vitality a little bit more, which is certainly gonna help. Bottom lane is getting pulled back a little bit by Lotac. Both of these heroes are just so beefy, not really coping too much harassment. Ninja Boogie's already spammed through his initial mana pool. Armel tanking a few more auto attacks here. Getting zoned back by the Viper, but now Armel just turns around, throws in a couple of auto attacks. Chiang gonna pop the salve. Armel waiting on his salve, doesn't want to pop it just yet. Does not want it to be cancelled. Viper tanking the tower, diving in pretty deep. Armel, did he just get that Fairy Fire delivered? Oh. Still tanking the tower. Viper was maybe a dive a little bit too far. That cost him his entire HP pool looking for that kill.
And watching top lane actually kind of makes me sad, man. It's just a whole TNC reunion up here.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, we do have the rivalry, right? Yeah, Raven playing against his...
Raven and AU, man.
Yeah.
They're both, you know, this is the TA6 squad right here. You have Jimbo here casting their game too. Sorry, man. It's just very nostalgic just watching these guys.
Ninja Boogie's dead at bottom. Oh, but looks like Ohio. Gabby's gonna get the turnaround. I don't even know if that was really worth it for Lotac, but they did actually get more gold for the Crystal Maiden kill than Gabby got for the Ohio kill. So there you go. Kanka's dead at top. Raven and AU both still getting punched down by Cuckoo, but he does have the spirits on him. One more auto attack. No, he's actually got the stick charges. Cuckoo doesn't have enough. He's got one more axes, but decides it's not going to be enough to kill him. Surprised he didn't try. Phoenix does have 0 armor, but he does have over 100 HP. So.
He doesn't want to kill his former teammate just yet, you know.
No. Save it for later.
What's he doing?
He's going to go suicide to the tier 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Watch, he still gets the kill because the timer didn't run out yet.
Maybe. No. They really need to fix this thing where it says 126 each. It's 126 total. So,
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would be way too much gold. Oh my god.
Broken, man.
Yeah. It's been like that for literally years. That's Dota 2 for you. Alright, Raven got gone on up top. Gets a Wraith Band delivered along with some Tangos. And, okay, they got a Sal for him too. Gabby still farming really nicely down at bottom, but Ohio also doing okay. Coming in here with some more auto attacks. Lots of harassment being traded. This mid lane, you called it out as being pretty important. It seems relatively even so far. A slight, very slight advantage for the Viper, perhaps. But
I'm not a really big fan of where he places ward because he kind of loses vision a little bit during nighttime. That it's not close enough to mid where if he places it like where the fireplace is, he's going to have more vision uphill. But
yeah, ooh, he caught a glimpse of that CM illusion for a second there. Ninja Boogie hoping for this gank at mid, but not going to happen.
Wow, this mid lane is pretty dead even, huh?
Yep. Oop, Torrent catches on 2 up top. Tim's 2 points up in the Torrent, just a little bit more damage, but that does mean his catch is going to come along a tiny bit slower, but still seems to be getting pretty good experience up here. 5-minute bounty runes are about to come up, so you're going to see both teams looking to contest these. Gabby wants to go over and grab his bottle before grabbing the rune, so that he can heal himself all the way back up to full, and looks like he is going to be able to do that. Boogie, he wanted that bottom bounty, but no chance up against the Treant Protector. Top bounty's not being nearly as contested. And this one's actually still just going to sit here. So Cuckoo spams it out a little bit, should be able to bottle up, and then he'll be able to go back and grab it, perhaps.
3 runes going for TNC there. Major advantage there. Give him almost 1k gold advantage as well.
Yeah, looking good. So Tim's was running over towards mid, I think hoping to line up with the Huskar grabbing level 6 and getting a kill on the Viper, but at the end of the day, he is just going to have to back himself up. Come grab a little more experience. Gabby dead down bottom.
What happened there?
I thought he was like full HP, but never mind.
What's crazy about this game? This game is very close. Every lane is just farming almost evenly, right?
Yeah, and Huskar dead at mid. Run down. And up top is their action. Is Cuckoo getting run at, AU diving through, slows him down, they get the avalanche, looking like TNC going to be losing one more. That is, you literally just said all the lanes are looking even, and then all 3 cores died in all 3 lanes. Oh, man.
Wow. And it's still even, though, you know?
Yeah,
so.
It is still pretty even.
Core exchange was pretty fair. Oh, I guess, actually all TNC scores.
No, it was all TNC, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So it went from a 1k TNC lead after the bounties to now a 1k Lotac lead. So, alright. Boogie wants to turn this around. They're going to go for a 2 support smoke gank over towards the mid lane. Coming in here to get a ward down as well. Viper does have a double damage. TP coming in from the Phoenix. He does have the Fire Spirits off cooldown. If he can just lay that down onto everybody, Viper might be able to find the turnaround, and he does. Couple more touches onto Boogie and Tim's. AU going to go for the dive through. They're looking for both of the supports. AU going to lose his life, but ends up being a 2-for-1 trade on the mid lane. Such a nice TP in from the Phoenix, and Viper does end up surviving.
That's where Viper kind of feels broken, where it's just like if you can't kill him and you're just like this lingering damage and you're trying to, you can't run away from this hero. Once you commit, you're going all in, you know.
Gabby died again, bottom. Oh, okay, they still want this Viper kill. Level 8. This is going to be a big one. They've got the Stampede though. And he is out of there. They couldn't quite catch up for the Frostbite.
That you see how one mistake leads to another. The fact that they were able to kill Gabby on bottom. You see how he's barely level 6. Oh, he got a free wave after that. But he got level 6 only because of that Weaver died. And if that Weaver didn't die, that Viper would have died. And it's like a little snowball chain effect there. And that's what happens, man. You got to really minimize on these mistakes. Because that Viper kill would have been very big for TNC. Because they are losing mid pretty hard. And because of that, it's like their supports would have got so much out of it as well. But fortunately, you know, Viper being the highest, highest net worth? There's an assumption there.
Alright, gonna bring Ohio back.
He's doing really well.
Living Armor's there. He's still okay. He does have the stomp. He's also got the Vanguard, so he's just tanking through this. Gabby runs in. Ohio waiting on the stomp until the Shikuchi came through. AU also TPing in, just putting down more harassment onto Gabby. There's an Invis rune waiting for Yamate.
I love this build by Ohio quite a bit. I mean, I know he plays Centaur quite a bit. I think he plays a very, very good Centaur as well. But, you know, most people usually opt for like 2 hoof stomps or 1-3-1 or something. But he went 2 in return because he knows he's matched up against a Weaver NCM. And these heroes cannot really right-click him because of their low HP pool. Yep. And because of that, it's just like, it's just as efficient as, you know, he's not going to be spamming double edge until he gets his Vanguard anyways. So he did it for laning prep. He went like 1-1-2 initially, so Yeah. It's a little details that really make the biggest difference.
Yeah, yesterday he went 1-1-3 twice against Marana. Just like 1-1-3, built the Vanguard, just kind of laughed in Marana's face. Couldn't really do anything to harass him down. Yamate, alright, running all the way up top. This is a little bit unexpected that the Treant Protector would be over here. Raven has just enough mana for a full combo. AU is getting run at by Gabby at bottom, but they've got the dive away, so he's going to be okay. And now they're going in up onto top. Raven doesn't quite catch the toss onto Cuckoo, though. It looks like it might still be enough damage. The Roar looking for the turnaround. Cuckoo's on the run. He's got 15 HP. They're going to stampede forward. Yamate finish him off. One more punch. All right. He could have just run through him with the stampede damage, but now they toss Ohio in. The combination plays from Lotac as they are currently leading 11-4. Man, the last couple of minutes have been looking spectacular for them. And
the chain right click looks so funny. The first one, because he had Nova on him and he had to cancel it because he had no attack speed. But he ended up getting him, and because of that rotation that gives Phoenix an open lane, gets his fast level 6 pre 10 minutes, and there's still a tome available for the Treant. So both supports of Lotac is going to be level 6, and that's fairly quick.
They're going to have this big AoE combination online really, really early. That's going to be super worrying for TNC. Because the game plan for them very much was kind of run over the lanes, get the fast items up on the... get fast armlet up on the Huskar and whatnot, and just be able to kind of go. They're not really relying on any big cooldowns. The longest thing that they have is, what, Roar and Ghost Ship. And both of those are 90 seconds on the Roar and a minute at max on Ghost Ship.
Alright, I like this now. They're bringing the smoke over to mid, and I was about to say they need to make this play on this Viper, and they have boat ready with a... Unless they go top. Top would be a good kill too. Killing Centaur though, 1500 HP with the Vanguard is nearly impossible, so they need to make a play mid. Yeah. Once they bring Huskar over...
All these heroes are quite tanky, right? Like, Centaur's got 1700 HP, Tiny's got 1500, and Viper... 1200 plus the 3 points in corrosive skin, so they are heading top.
This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be close, but I don't think they'll be able to kill him because they do have Yamate right there sitting, and there's a TP coming in from Phoenix with an egg as well.
Yeah, they've got the Roar follow-up, but Ohio's still okay for now. The Supernova coming down, they're gonna stampede forward. They look for the stomp. The Roar is gonna protect them. Armel jumping across, trying to get out of range of the Supernova, but another stomp from Ohio locks him down. AU's looking for more. He gets the slow onto Cuckoo, who will be okay. But that was a pretty big commitment for TNC. They take the Huskar away from farming. They rotate him all the way up to top just for him to die. And they used both the Roar and the boat, so their pick-off abilities on cooldown for a good minute now.
AU's Spidey senses were tingling there. He actually TP'd before anything even happened there, and he was set up way before, so that was really good by him. It was obviously a follow-up egg, and even then, I just feel like that wasn't the right play. Killing a Centaur with 1700 HP with a stick and Vanguard just seems nearly impossible at this stage of the game, you know?
Yeah.
And especially when they have a Treant as well with the living armor.
They picked the most difficult target, for sure. Like,
they should have went for the Viper, I felt, in mid, because yeah, they have a Centaur ulti, but that's where your X and that's where Crystal Maiden's Frostbite's gonna really come in handy, and Centaur ulti is just not gonna really do anything.
Yeah, if they land the chain stun properly, I don't think they have any trouble bringing the Viper down. He has picked up an Ogre Axe on top of everything, so Lotac, the answer seems to be so far just to kind of keep on farming. Gabby also going to be going for a Dragonlance, and TNC Armlet's still quite a ways away for Armel. Still struggling a little bit, 700 gold or so behind the Viper.
Yeah. Can be good. Raven already showed. Ohio showed. I don't think they should have all shown like that, but.
All right. They are diving on Gabby at bottom. Ohio doesn't care one whit about the tower.
Neither of them have detection. There's no way Gabby dies. But then again, Gabby has had some insane deaths already, so.
Oh. Alright. Sentry popped down at the exact same instant as that Observer Ward got planted, so that was the lowest duration obs potentially ever. What do we got? We got does AU have another ward coming up soon? Vision for the Dire, not amazing at the moment. They are going for this boat over at mid lane. Viper just gonna hope that the survivability is enough. Armel jumping forward. They get the roar. It pushes back Ohio. He can't get in here with the stomp, but it does also catch onto Gabby. They've got to follow up. X marks the spot. They're not gonna let the Viper escape. Looking like Huskar should be able to survive. Once he gets out of the Nether Toxin, he's gonna be okay. And that is the first gank that TNC have gone for that's kind of worked out the way that they were hoping it would. It cost them a lot of heroes. They committed really heavily, all 3 cores, but they do bring the Viper down.
They needed to do that a little bit earlier, like 2 or 3 minutes earlier, but I mean, hey man, better late than never. Fortunately, that rotation that they did on bottom, bringing those 2 cores, it's like, I think Ohio needs to carry a dust of some sort, because if they made the play correctly, you know, Tiny can always toss him onto this Weaver. He'll always get this hoof stomp off, follow up with the stun, and they're gonna squash that bug, but rather, you know, he just ran there and they both showed in the tower, and this Weaver just needs to sit back defensively.
See ya, Boogie.
Blink finishing him.
Yeah. So quick blink reveal. Raven getting a little bit more gold towards his Echo Saber. Not Huskar. Beastmaster was going towards a medallion a little bit earlier on, but Cuckoo has now just decided to queue up the full Necro book. So no blink, no medallion. Ohio is just sitting on this high ground here. Knows that he is insanely difficult to deal with. Let's get the stomp out onto one. Still right-clicking on a Cuckoo. They got the boat coming through. Armel's here to deal the deeps, though. He does have his armlet now, so Ohio a little bit of overconfidence. And that is just going to be 2 quick kills.
Oh my gosh.
Weaver
Gabby
gets squished at bottom. Was he going for the supernova?
Oh, yeah, he was going for the supernova. Initially, he was 1 hit away from killing the Phoenix, and he dropped the egg, and then he was 1 hit away from killing the egg as well. And Raven just came in clutch with the combo of the avalanche toss. Ah, man, Gabby.
He's not having a very good game so far. He's doing okay in terms of net worth, but imagine if he just didn't have these deaths. He would be, he would really be owning.
I mean, some of these deaths are, I think, aside from his first one, but the other 2, I think, were very preventable for sure. It's just like, you know, we talked about it earlier. It's like the Centaur and Tiny are very good for this Weaver, because they can just one combo him, they can burst him down. But it's just overextending just a little bit too much here. So chill out a little bit.
Raven looking for some more free pickoffs here. Ninja Boogie and Tim standing on top of each other. They're going to get Avatos comboed together as AU is now also diving through. They do manage to get the boat out, so helping to keep Armel alive for a little bit longer. They've got the Stomp to cancel his TP, though. He's still tanking up, courtesy of the boat buff and all of this magic resistance. I doubt he can get an armlet toggle off. No, I'm just going to get locked down. Lotac bringing all 5 heroes up top. Somehow Tim survives. Just walking away from that one. And mid-tier 1 tower is getting pressured, though Ohio is going to be able to come in and put an end to that.
It was a very optimistic TP by A-God Jr. there. But it's alright. I don't know, it's just the TNC is kind of falling apart. This Viper pick ends up working out a lot better than expected here, you know. This Huskar doesn't have his general snowbally start. Viper is the one that has a snowball start this time around. They're both snowballing heroes, right? It's generally whoever has a better start in the game kind of just snowballs from there and just is able to take control of the game, and that's exactly what this Viper is capable of doing now.
Yeah, it's for TNC just not looking great. And for Lotac, this is not the first time that they've gone for just this triple tanky core kind of a draft. I wonder if this is just something that they feel like it really works in the current meta, because we see some of these lineups like TNC where they're this game not as much, but you know, in previous games sometimes you see these lineups and their total amount of damage is kind of limited. There's a little bit more right click on the TNC side here, and is this the same sentry that dewarded the other observer ward in this exact same spot? Yamate not really communicating about this one. He did try and get another obs down.
He gets it.
Is it gonna stick? Looks like maybe it will. Yeah.
So you know the thing we talked about TA in the previous game with Fnatic. You know they have a tree.
Raven, Avatar's combination and the jump in from Ohio. The Sunray, is it gonna finish Gabby? He started the time lapse animation, but he couldn't get it off. Now they're stampeding forward onto Ninja Boogie. Poor old Crystal Maiden in some trouble. They toss forward the Phoenix. Blink off cooldown for Centaur in a second, so he's gonna finish that one.
Yeah, but this time around, we talked about like this Treant has this living armor. They don't. TNC doesn't really have any answers to remove. Actually, yes, they have Huskar. Forget. Sorry, I'll retract that comment there. But it's just their lineup. What Lotac has is, I don't see how TNC can really kill any of the heroes from Lotac as long as they're playing together. They're closely nearby one another.
Nope. All right. X marks the spot. Onto the to the Viper. Still pretty tanky, and the living armor comes in. And he's still just full HP. They can't do anything to him at all.
And he has a spell lifesteal too.
Yeah. This talent is so weird. 8% spell lifesteal. It's like who are you kidding? But I guess it is a little bit more survivability. So.
Well, it's a lot because all 4 of his spells is magic. You know, so that's why. So it's a lot more than. It's kind of a lot. At the same time, it doesn't look like it's too insane.
No, I feel like we see the attack speed talent a lot. People just getting the little bit of extra farm rate. But this is what the lineup is about. It's just about surviving, right? Oh,
all right. Get him a Yolnir as well.
Ohio like sees Ninja Boogie and then just jumps right on top of him. No fear whatsoever. Yamate charging forward. He's going to be able to get the overgrowth out. He's still pretty fast. His tranquil boots are unbroken. He hasn't decided on his target. Ayu's the one to come diving, and I don't know where he came from, but finds a quick kill on Boogie. He's got a Hand of Midas on this Phoenix, so his game is looking super secure. And TNC feeling like they may have missed their timing a little bit. Raven is going to get torrented, so Tim's sneaks the bounty rune out from underneath him. The Stampede coming through. They're going to be able to drag him back with the X marks the spot, but the boat not really doing anything. And Tim's does pay for that bounty rune with his life. 8-22 is the score. I don't know how it's only a 3k net worth lead. TNC have been farming well while all of this is happening, but they are not finding any kills.
You haven't seen that one in a while, Midas Phoenix, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, they're just running around getting these kills while at the same time TNC's just farming the map, getting the creep kills, pushing the waves in. So all in all, Lotac may be getting all of these kills, but they're not getting any real objectives out of it. You can see their tier 1 and tier 1 and mid and tier 1 bottom is still alive. It actually might be falling right now. And TNC actually opened up the map by, not only did they get Roshan now, they got the tier 1 on top already, which kind of opens up the map for them. And I don't know, I don't really agree with what Lotac is doing. Yeah, they're getting all of these kills. Yeah, they're winning some of these team fights, but essentially they're not getting any real objectives out of it. And I feel TNC's just getting so much. You know, you can see 22 kills on them and only a 3k gold lead. That's insane, you know.
No. Their lineup is just bad at taking objectives, right? There's not much else to. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I guess the Viper can kind of come up in siege. They're gonna come and finish this mid tier 1. These tier 1s are kind of low, so. Alright, map opened up somewhat. They're looking for a pickoff off to the side, but TNC are already waiting here with a sentry ward planted, so they kind of have a read on what's going on here.
Well, the problem is, I think TNC's lineup is Lotac's lineup is actually pretty good at taking, not great, but good enough to take towers. It's just they have the wrong mindset on thinking about the game right now. They're just they're too. We call this. I remember in my former teams, we call it being too kill horny. You know, you're just like horny off these kills. You're just getting off. It's just like it feels good. It builds momentum and it just builds all this excitement for the team. But objective-wise, it doesn't really accomplish or achieve much out of it. And this tier 1, which they're finally getting, gives them access to their whole jungle now. And you know, you're reducing all of TNC's map control as well. But they're also exchanging the tier 1 mid as well. And they could have done this 5, 6, 7 minutes earlier prior to pre-Roshan, and maybe that would have not even given a chance for TNC to take that Roshan. And because of that, they're able to push this tier 2, and they're not going to be too scared about it.
Yeah, I mean, 13 of their kills are just on the 2 supports on TNC, and that hasn't really amounted to that much gold. I mean, sure, Ninja Boogie and Tim's don't really have a whole lot of farm, but it's probably a big reason why this net worth lead is not really that big. And TNC, they come in here, they threaten the top tower a little bit, but more importantly, they get 2 really nice observer wards down. Yamate is going to be able to come and get the quick D ward, though. That
was very, like, again, Lotac is being extremely inefficient in this aspect. Not all of them should have left bottom lane. They're losing so much net worth, so much farm. Now they're going for a 4-man smoke while Treant Protector is showing mid. And you can see, like, the CM is already, he pushed top, he already killed the wave. This Huskar is already pushing bottom, and, you know, you see their whole team is just farming the Ancients right now, protecting each other here.
So are Lotac just playing together too much? Is that the... Oh, they're jumping in onto Armel. Can they burst him? He pops the BKB. He's just going to run forward. He's still got the Aegis. He actually wants to turn this fight around. Does some damage onto Raven. Alright, cost him the BKB, but not going to cost him the Aegis. I think that's probably a worthwhile usage there.
I do think they're playing together a little bit too much. They're having the wrong heroes at the wrong places, and they're not using the map correctly, or they're not farming the map wisely, and because of that, their cores are gonna fall off eventually because of it. And like, while TNC, they're just catching up on this Huskar. All of a sudden, he has a BKB out of nowhere because of this little snowball effect from the Roshan. All of a sudden, Cuckoo has a book 3, and Diffusal picked up on Weaver with another 1600 gold on top of them.
Yeah, Gabby's got like a 40 CS ahead of the highest farmer on Lotac. The Huskar is also kind of doing the same thing. Oh, they're gonna jump onto Gabby here. We've seen this before. All of the chain stun, kind of easy to bring him down. But I mean, TNC, they got an objective out of that as well. They took that top tier 2 tower. Ninja Boogie, yeah, it looks like he's also going to be sacrificed for the cause. Yeah, just gonna get slowly worked down here.
That was actually insane. Ninja Boogie actually decided to run up and place that sentry because they saw Gabby there. He's like, okay, I can get this D ward, because how else did they see Gabby? But look at that sneaky ward that Lotac has. That little, if you click on it, there's a little
sliver.
Of Gabby. Yes,
okay.
and because of that, that's pretty unfortunate there. But you know, it's life sometimes.
Yeah, that's a really nice word placement. Do you have to cut down a tree to plant that or something, or is it just...
Yeah, I'm sure Raven's Quelling Blade.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe
Yamate has a Quelling Blade as well.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, one of the supports. You have to cut down the tree for it.
Yeah. A little bit blasphemous for Tree to have a QB, but oh well. That's alright. Banner runes coming up, and we have just still 2 apiece, nothing too crazy. Armel still keen to use this Aegis, but he's only got another 20 seconds left with it, so he needs to be careful about how he plays here. Yamate is going to get revealed over in these trees by the Radiant Scan, but TNC...
He does have a vessel now.
Oh yeah, that's actually going to be... And he's got 4 charges. That's going to be pretty nice. Especially up against this Huskar. Though he does have multiple different ways to dispel it. Alright, so there's the Aegis. Viper coming forward, has his Dragonlance, so able to harass from a pretty long way back. They can't really afford to use Yamate. He's the big enabler for the Supernova. He's going to throw out the Overgrowth a little bit early. Armel's still just jumping forward. They drop the Roar. They know that this is their opportunity. Beastmaster getting focused down, but they've got the boat coming through, and Ninja Boogie is just sitting here channeling his Freezing Field. They've lost 2 so far. The Torrent catching onto Raven. They do manage to pop the egg as well. They didn't have that protection. Popping the Overgrowth earlier. Armel going to recommit into this fight. Finishes off a triple. Needs to be careful about the damage over time, but he's going to be okay. Lotac just not starting that fight in the proper way. Yamate walking too far forward. They couldn't protect the egg, and that's going to end up being a 5 for 2.
The problem with that is, what I feel what should have happened is Lotac had to bait them into them, not chase outside of their tier 1, which makes their team fight much harder, because it's harder for this Phoenix to get his egg off more effectively in a more defensive position, because if he has to place it aggressively, the egg will die. And there was no synergy, no combo between the tree and the Phoenix. There was no communication or some sort, because, you know, that tree and Overgrowth, like you mentioned at the beginning, it was a little bit too early, and there was no egg. And, you know, they're not using their spells properly. Their spell casting or just team communication is just really off right now.
Yep.
And they feel, at the moment, I think they're starting to feel this pressure onto them. And like I mentioned before, them not using the map correctly is because that's the reason. I think Viper should already have his BKB if they were farming the map a bit better, or like playing together, right? But instead they were just 5-manning and constantly just sitting like a tier 2. After they take the tier 1 bottom, they 4-man TP top, and one guy was already lingering there, and it's just like they completely abandoned bottom, where they should be farming the lane, farming the jungle, and wait for a team fight to start, and then the last man TPing into the tier 2 to have the fight. But instead, you know, TNC realizes there's no one's bottom, and they just back off completely, and nothing ends up happening, and they lose net worth for about 3 minutes because... And while that all happens, you know, TNC is pushing all of the lanes in and just farming on their cores and supports.
They keep trying to plant these observer wards here, and Ninja Boogie just keeps de-warding. This is the 3rd observer ward in this like little spot that has been de-warded within the first 10 seconds of it being planted. I don't know. Lotac gotta mix something up on that.
Yeah, the same one for sure. That's oh, I hope that doesn't get dewarded. But partially they're also just initiation.
They're looking for Cuckoo. He was dewarding, but they don't find him yet. Raven might come running into him here. Ooh, it is nighttime. Looks like they're just gonna pass each other by.
If Yamata understands, he should understand that there's just tons of sentries. I mean, Ninja Boogie's playing it well. He knows how to play against a trend. This is how you have to play. You have to mass and spam these sentries so your cores can farm the jungle effectively, because if they're scouted out, you know, Lotac's lineup, they can burst any core and any support. So this Treant doesn't have as much freedom as he would love.
I've seen people talking about sentry wards with the new buff duration maybe feeling a little bit too strong. Are you in that camp of like these 6-minute sentries are?
Pardon?
Maybe I've seen people saying that sentries are OP now because they last 6 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love the new sentries. They're so good. It makes me so happy as a support too. So yeah, the fact that they linger for so long.
Oh yeah, Yamate's looking to pincer here. If they can combo this properly, then that's going to be great. But if either half of the combo gets burst,
this is it. They're going to bait them into.
All right, they're going for AU. Can they focus him down? They're going to drop the roar on the Phoenix just to make sure of it. He does not have a buyback available. The boat's coming through, but they've burst the Huskar, so no damage from him. Now the Overgrowth following it up. Gabby forced to pop the time lapse. Ninja Boogie has found a good spot to drop the freezing field, but it does get interrupted by Yamate. He pays for that with his life. They've got the X marks the spot on Ohio. They really want the Viper kill though. Buyback from the Treant Protector. Toss back. Avalanching them together. Raven finding an amazing combo. Looks like Gabby might still be able to run this off. He is dusted. Raven's hunting for him. Another Shikuchi. He opens up a little bit more space. Blink Dagger off cooldown in 3 seconds time. Gabby gonna have to try and juke this. He does just go for the TP out.
Wow.
And he escapes.
That was close.
Overall trade ends up being 2 for 2 plus a buyback.
It was good they kept the Huskar because it was still supports, right? Even if the buyback. So the fact that he used the buyback, it kind of counterbalances out the fact that it was a core. So it's kind of like 3 kill. No, just the buyback. Yeah, it's kind of worth it. But I don't know what happened there. I thought it was going good because AU got where he was at. I felt maybe Yamate should have been a bit closer because he didn't even get his root off. He didn't get his living armor off. He didn't get any spells off to protect him. No one was kind of there, and Raven wasn't there to really avalanche. Because it was kind of obvious what was going to happen, or the follow-up after the X.
Yeah, they were going to drop everything to kill that Phoenix, and Lotac had to kind of pop some more cooldowns to try and save him. It was... I don't know, maybe they thought he would find an opportunity for the egg to just go off anyway, but I love the way the Cuckoo's been playing. The last 2 roars that he's used, one was on the Treant Protector, and the other one's been on the Phoenix. They're just kind of breaking up this combo every single time, because if it goes off unhindered, they're going to be in big trouble.
Oh boy. Roshan number 2 here. Aegis and Cheese.
This is fast. They've got the Necrobook, they've got Drum, Huskar working at this quickly, Lotac.
Dead.
They do have the Supernova again. They've got all of their spells, but it's just gone already. Alright, Aegis for Armel, so they won't be able to burst him again the same way that they did in the last fight. And Lotac, they stood there watching, but that was it for that Roshan contest.
That's... That was a quick Roshan, man.
Yeah, just
Auras, Bug.
It just happened.
Necrobook Aura, Drums. They have so many auras, man. It's pretty difficult for Lotac to fight. You know, they had their advantage, but they didn't capitalize on their advantage. They didn't push through their advantage. They were just, like I said, they were just looking for kills all over the map rather than focusing on the objectives. Now TNC having 2 free Roshans. And having all this map control. Gem also being picked up now. Weaver holding on to it.
Oh man. Between the Gem and the Beastmaster, it is just going to be impossible to keep any wards on the map. And until this Treant Protector gets a blink, which he is like has 0 gold towards right now, I don't understand how they're ever going to pull this combo off again. They're never going to let Yamate just walk into the middle of the fight and drop an Overgrowth. So,
that's the thing. We talked about the only way to really for him to get this Overgrowth is they have to bait him into him, and the Centaur has to bait this Tiny or Viper. These 3 beefy cores have to tank this death and trust his teammates to get this combo off.
Yeah, they can't afford to let the supports be getting gone on first. Yeah, they're gonna get the D ward on the high ground too. Yeah, between the Necro 3 and the Gem, Vision is such a precious commodity for Lotac. They're trying the same thing. Yamate sitting down south, the rest of the team on the north side, but They just let TNC take that tier 2. They're not even farming anywhere else on the map. They're just sitting here watching their objectives be taken.
I'm generally confused. I don't know if Lotac is tilted, but I know for sure they are out of focus completely, where they felt this game was on their hands. They had a huge advantage. They didn't capitalize. This tier 2 was sitting there. I just realized when they pushed, Yamate didn't even heal it up for 4 minutes. It was just dead.
Okay, they toss back Armel into the stomp. Little good teamfight coordination play. They will be able to pop the Aegis, but they're going to have to deal with him one more time. Yamate forced to pop the Overgrowth. It's not great. The Supernova's on this side of the fight, but they're just focusing on the Train Protector on the other. The Supernova's not going to really catch anyone. Gabby pops his BKB, and now he's going to be looking to run back in. Another dive through from AU, but TNC playing together, stacking the stuns a little bit. Gabby looks like he might be able to get the time-lapse off. He does. The boat coming through. The support combination from TNC looking for the turnaround. They do lose the Huskar for the second time, though. Cuckoo manning up. Gabby realizing that maybe they can actually continue this fight, though Ohio just barely surviving on a sliver of HP. Okay, Lotac getting the better of them that time around, and Raven will be looking for a little bit more. Fortunately, they managed to hang on to their gem.
Ohio actually lived there because of his 25% evasion from Halberd. They missed like 2 hits, and he had so much minus armor on top of him already. So it's some RNGesus from the Gaben Lord himself that praised and wants Ohio to actually succeed and win this game.
So how did Huskar not get his BKB off? What happened?
Comboed to stun toss into Centaur Stomp.
I mean, the
I think
second
they
time.
just changed. The second time? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I didn't really cocky.
Maybe. I mean, I think he was going to get like Supernova stun no matter what, but he did nothing in that fight.
That egg was really bad.
It was, yeah, no. TNC were so far away. They were like, they were all over that. So we still haven't really seen the true teamfight potential of Lotac, but they somehow won that fight, so they'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much language barrier communication that they have. Like I said, they're former teammates of mine, and I know Yamata for years didn't even know any English.
Oh, they jump in, but it's Ninja Boogie first, so not the greatest initiation. Armel's going to get his opportunity here. The Torrent boat catches onto 2. They're still just charging forward. Overgrowth coming in. Supernova in the middle of this fight. It's a decent one. They're kiting back towards their shrine. Ninja Boogie's already bought back. Gabby popping his BKB a little bit early. Focusing on these tanky targets, and that Raven spots his opportunity. Gabby is going to pop the time lapse. The heal still coming through as well from AU. Ohio getting right-clicked down. The mischance is helping, but looks like he's dead. And now the Viper is trapped up on the high ground. TNC also going to take that kill for free. Lotac, I don't know if they should have tried to push up that hill like that.
Wow, TNC played that fight so well. They were able to kite them and play that high ground completely, while Lotac was taking that team fight the whole time on the low ground. And they're having a huge vision advantage over them as well.
And now Viper buying back into the game. Worried about the push speed here from TNC, and rightly so. They are coming in pretty quickly. Avatos combination. Raven looking for Gabby, but he gets another time lapse off, and now he's actually locked down. They get a nice force staff away. Cuckoo still wants this kill, maybe diving in a little bit deep into the base, but his team is still backing him up. They've got a force staff to get him out. They really wanted that. They really want this tier 3 as well, but it's not going to be easy. If they can bring down Yamate, that would certainly help, and it's only going to take a few auto attacks from Armel to do just that. So no more living armor problems. Armel popping BKB to, I don't know, finish the tier 3, and then back they go. And TNC looking like they're just going to be happy with that. Already spamming pings onto the shrine. Just going to claim that map control and maybe set themselves up for Roshan number 3.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Like, they just seems like there's no real synergy going on with Lotac and how they're using their spells and combo. You know, they're going one at a time. I mean, sometimes they're just working so well together, like you saw
like
in tier 2 and how they burst.
Yeah, that was so sick. Toss back into the stomp and everything, and then yeah.
But then I realized, you know, you're synergizing with 2 like this matters a lot, because like I said, I've played in the C region. I know how it is. That synergy with actually that was Raven and Ohio. I guess they have some old chemistry here, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how their communication is, but it just seems very inconsistent. That's all it is, right?
Yeah. Some fights are going great, and other fights it's like
The chaotic one, it's just extremely chaotic, and people are just throwing spells out or just dying all over. Well, it's not about dying, it's just they're just using spells on the wrong heroes, or not using them at all, and they're just randomly using it, especially.
Like, I think even this fight over here, where they get the Crystal Maiden, right, they commit really heavily for that. Like, Tiny and the Centaur both going in. Okay, Lotac do have a gem of their own now, so the map is about to be very dark for both sides. Roshan potentially up in 40 seconds. Yeah. And
that is the game changer right there. Honestly, if Lotac is capable of getting this next Roshan, because it has refresher for, you know, this Phoenix or this Treant or even Centaur, it's a pretty damn big deal.
Yeah, Gabby's sick of getting jumped by Tiny and Centaur. He's just going to be going for a heart next. So I think even
like
just the Reaver going to help quite a bit.
Scotty, I think Scotty works out too, but Heart might be a little bit better. They have all the damage from Huskar already.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
So, yep, quick shrine number 2, take all this map control.
Dire's bottom shrine
The only argument maybe in favor of Scotty as opposed to the Heart is like the inner vitality is based on your primary attributes, so if he plans on getting inner vitality at all, then it would be a little bit more healing, but it looks like he just wants to sustain himself, not going to rely on the vessel and inner vitality.
I guess Yamate has been watching some puppy replays, picking up all these new ward spots right now. He knows these ones won't really be getting dewarded. Well, I guess they do. They might because they have a Beastmaster, but there were some really sneaky and good obs though.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really good vision around the Roshan pit. And like you were saying, this is going to be the next big objective, and it's up in 15 seconds. So Lotac, pretty convenient time for them to be smoking. What's the buyback situation? Both teams, majority of the cores do have buyback. Viper did buyback earlier, so if he dies first in this fight, it's not going to be a possibility for him. And buyback's much more valuable for TNC as they still have the shrine. Gabby going to come around the corner. He's got the heart, and he actually manages to force staff himself away. So now it's LFY, well, not LFY, Lotac, Ohio, who's in trouble. They're going to drop the supernova in the middle of this fight. Can they actually focus it down? They finally got the combo going, but Armel force staffs himself up onto the high ground, and they dodge it. Now kiting away. They just need to look for a catch. They don't find anything. It's actually just a bunch of spells traded and no kill.
Everyone's just throwing spells out. Lucky regen picked up by Ohio as well.
Everyone's like back to full HP. Ohio catches a 2-man stomp. They're coming in here. They look towards Tim's. Tossing, like, gets force staffed a little bit further away. AU helping to keep Ohio alive. They get the disarm over onto the Huskar. Won't be able to keep on right-clicking. Everyone is still looking pretty healthy, but Ohio is out of mana. It's going to get dragged back by the X marks the spot. They're still just preventing him from escaping. Tim's going to come forward with another X mark. Lotac sitting around their Centaur. He's getting harassed, but not really committing to kill him. TNC, all of their BKBs are on cooldown, so nobody wants to go running in, though. Gabby's kind of flanking with his new and improved Chikuchi move speed. And they, they get that D-ward.
Yeah, this is a freaking hawk, man. The Diffusal is just so good against, honestly, all of the cores from Lotac. Especially against a Centaur and Viper, too, because they're already very low on mana.
Yeah, he's only got 600. Okay, Ohio comes in and grabs that haste rune. He's going to get brought back into the X marks the spot. But on the other side of the fight, they've actually managed to find out the Phoenix and the Treant Protector. Why are Lotac so split up like this? Phoenix is going to buy back into the game. Still doesn't have the Supernova for another 20 seconds. And TNC going to grab a little bit of farm while they just keep on playing the lane control game.
So the problem, I don't understand why they're lingering around so much when Ohio actually has no mana. Like, all he's going to be doing is just a walking tank. And yeah, he might be right-clicking for 272 damage, but I don't think anyone from TNC is really scared of that, you know? He doesn't even have treads or any attack speed. Yet, Lotac was just trying to... No, yeah, they were still trying to pressure and look for a fight, and everyone has a cooldown. They just need to delay it for the point where the Centaur needs to go back and heal and wait for their cooldowns and be ready to re-engage.
And now TNC, they've got their BKBs back up. Overgrowth only on cooldown for another 10 seconds, so we're going to have pretty much everything for both sides. But Gabby, this is a nice play. He's threatening bottom, ready to rat, so they're going to try and keep everybody here on the Lotac side. Nobody TPing back just yet. X marks the spot, controlling. Gabby is going to come TPing over, though. He doesn't want to try for the tier 3.
I don't think he should have TP'd.
I think he should have stayed, yeah.
Yeah, committed until he forced someone back. He has a heart. It's not like he's gonna die anytime soon. He sees these heroes, and I don't know.
They do see Tiny over there now, but Raven's just trying to run back over to the pit as fast as he can. And TNC, instead of going into the pit, they're just gonna try and head over and grab this Treant Protector kill. Yamate about to be brought down. This was a really nice little move from TNC. So with no Treant Protector, it makes this fight more difficult. He does have a buyback available. Gabby going to be coming in from the backlines here. They get the jump in, they get the stomp. They're going to drop the Supernova on top of everything as well. Huskar pops his BKB. They just focus down the egg. They needed the Treant Protector, but he's still just walking over to this fight. Ohio is up next, surrounded by 4 heroes. They are going to run forward looking for more. Yamate waiting in these trees. Needs to be careful. If Beastmaster has the Hawk off cooldown, he could also be brought down, but Lotac,
a very cocky egg. Egg right on top of them.
Yeah, they didn't even have to move to hit it. Like they just stood there.
I don't know if that was a misclick or he thought Treant was there, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was way too easy for TNC to deal with.
And we didn't talk about this Vlad's pick up on Kunkka as well. He's going pierce, like pipe, drums, auras, and Vlad's. All these auras and sustainability for... and then Shiva's being picked up by Cuckoo as well.
Yeah, they're actually... I'm talking about Lotac being the tanky lineup, but TNC now with all of their... all the aura stack are actually becoming very difficult to kill. And they've got the boat buff on top of everything else, right? So...
And a lot of people generally, on his level 20 Beastmaster, they would get his 80 wild axes, but Cuckoo opt for the 500 health, and I like that a lot.
This game is becoming kind of weird. Like, Lotac are super tanky, TNC are super tanky, but TNC definitely have the superior damage, right? Like, the Tiny is already at this point pretty much just a combo. Sure, he's almost got a Daedalus, so he does punch pretty hard, but Centaur's not really doing any damage in the fights. Viper's doing his best to kind of stand there and get damage out, but also... I feel like Lotac's actually missed their timing now, and, you know, Nullifier is going to be picked up by Weaver as well. They have their Aegis, Refresher, Cheese. This is the... Call this one they're going for the GG push right here. Yeah, Cuckoo should put his Refresher up. Screw his bottle, man. Come on, bro. Yeah, I don't know what this is about.
Oh man, and Cuckoo's actually level 25 as well. He has 85 bonus attack speed.
Okay. And they're just gonna try and they're like kind of cheesing it with the Huskar. Just X marks the spot, send him in, he gets some hits. If he's ever in danger, bring him back with the X. TNC have found a pretty reliable way to chip the high ground.
The only way to, I think, ruin that is if you toss him from a long range, and when you pull him back, that toss still goes through if he lands on time. If that makes sense. If he's still in the air when they pull the X back.
Yeah, they need that or they need a Yules, but nobody has one at the moment. Ninja Boogie, he does have that attack speed talent. So there you go. I don't know
about this Phoenix anymore, man.
Yeah, he's in big trouble.
He actually has Aghanims too, so he's gonna be trying to save someone. So
it does give you extra hits, but yeah, that could also be a disaster if he pulls somebody into the egg.
I think he needs his 25 to make it 16 hits. 13 right now.
Even then, I'm not sure. It feels like TNC might be able to do it. They have an AC on Huskar as well. Everyone is hitting so fast. I just want to... Can we get all the auras on Crystal Maiden? I want to see how fast this Crystal Maiden hits. Like...
Let her buy treads too, man.
Yeah. Attack speed 510. 0. He's attacking 3 times a second. That's insane.
For me, putting myself in Lotac's position is just... I don't know how they're going to win. It's just... TNC just kind of has to overextend for Lotac to really win. They have to get the perfect combo off with Treant and an egg. And, you know, and even better if AU is actually capable of saving someone and resetting them and giving them another life. So
that's a lot of ifs, a lot of
yes sir. Because yeah, they do have an Aegis and Cheese as well with the Refresher, and the fact that Cuckoo does have a BKB as well, I feel like he's pretty unstoppable in the fights. He's just gonna blink BKB, Shiva's Roar, and refresh and repeat, right?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't think Lotac really has an answer for it. And I think if they just go on this Treant Protector, this egg will never be able to get off. Like, even if he eggs in the best position possible, they can just either back off or just run in and right-click it, and they'll kill it in 2 seconds.
Chopping down the trees so Yamate doesn't have anywhere to hide. This Beastmaster pick has actually worked out really well this game. Alright, a little bit of lockdown onto the Viper. He's taking the auto attacks. They're going to get the Nullifier out onto him as well. He's dead. He's going to buy back immediately. They do get the Overgrowth out, but AU's still just sitting in the back lines. Hasn't thrown the Supernova just yet. TNC kiting back out of the base. Nothing forcing them to stay around here. They can just rinse, repeat. Back up onto the high ground. Look for another pickoff in a little bit. 50 seconds to go on the Roar. They've only got the Aegis for 1 minute and 10 though, so I think Armel is probably keen to jump into the base. Nice blink away from Raven, but it's a blink in from Ohio. They're trying to go onto Gabby, but he's way too tanky. Ohio taking damage. What are they doing with this Supernova? They drop it inside of the base. TNC actually going to try and just go for it. They're auto-attacking. Crystal Maiden's got the attack speed. Armel, mega kill streak for him. Phoenix dead for 80. Cuckoo with 1 more Roar. He popped the Refresher Shard. They jump in. They bring down the Viper for the 2nd time. Ohio finds an S3-man stomp. Raven following it up with the Avalanche. But they can't quite finish off Armel. Gabby gets off the time-lapse. So did he even... No, not even time-lapse. He just survived,
GG.
and that is a GG called. TNC, they had a shocker of an early game, but really bringing it back to the mid-game. And Lotac, like you've been saying, just kind of looked off.
You can even see that last team fight, Raven blinks out, Ohio blinks in. I'm just confused here, and it's reminiscent and just some bad memories here just coming back. You know, like my PTSD is coming back again. You know, I just remember this kind of communication when I played on Fnatic with these guys as well, and it's just, I think communication matters a lot here, and it's just, you know, you have your Malay, Chinese, English into like Tagalog, English. You know, it's just they have this miscommunicate. I can see they have a communication and a huge disconnect, and sometimes they synergize really well, but when it comes to the more chaotic ones, it's just a different dialect, and their communication it's very difficult to really translate towards one another. Like I said, that last team fight, Raven's blinking out as soon as Ohio's blinking in a second later, and it just shows like there's no synergy. But then other times they proved me wrong, and we both saw that, like, wow, their team fight coordination was actually insane. And yeah, I mean, like I said, to sum up this game, it's just all it is was they were, like I said, they were kill horny. That's all it was. They just were looking into kills. Both tier 1s, tier 1 mid, tier 1 bottom, both sitting around 200 HP for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Yet they didn't care about the towers. They just cared about constantly looking for kills. And yeah, they kept killing Ninja Boogie or Gabby on occasion, and Tim's on occasion too. But other than that, and Armel died once, but other than that, Cuckoo was just, it didn't matter because the cores were still farming, the lanes were pushed, and they were happy with it at the end of the day. And all it took was one team fight, TNC got Roche, and they kind of had a huge snowball effect from there.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie ended the game with 13 deaths, but I think he is just fine with that. And it's interesting that you bring up all these communication issues and things, because I think Lotac, they kind of cruise through some of their other games a little bit. They just put Raven on one of these hard carries and just kind of, they go do their thing, Raven does his thing, farming up, and then eventually he's kind of the one to carry the game. But if you look at the way that TNC drafted here, they banned a lot of those carries out. They took the Weaver for themselves, they banned the PL, they banned the TB, they banned the Spectre, and it kind of left Raven on this Tiny who, he had a good game, 13-1 and 8. He made some nice little plays, but not a hero that can carry the entire game by himself. So they might have to find a slightly different formula here against TNC, because they have Raven's number, it seems.
Yeah, it was, and it's funny how we talked about this egg gonna be useless when it comes to their timing. You know, the auras, all the auras coming through. Crystal Maiden getting his level 20 with the 250 attack speed.
I wasn't joking. It's like,
they didn't care. Hey, they ignored the egg for like 2 or 3 seconds, but like, oh, okay, time to kill it. And man, it just died. You know, and for the most part, I don't know. I saw it once. I don't even know if I really saw it once, like a good Phoenix egg into like a root combo. You know what I mean? I don't think I saw it all game. It was more the Centaur or Tiny kind of setting it up, and the tier 1 on bottom was, I think, was the big one of the secondary biggest game changer as well. But they did have an Aegis at TNC at that point. But Yamate was just, I think, way too aggressive. He should have been playing on the right side, and he kind of ran too aggressively out, and because of that, he got caught out. And then Egg randomly went out. Just spells were just thrown out of everywhere, you know. Kind of sums up their game, and hopefully game 2 they kind of got to step it up, communicate, focus on their communication a little bit more, and yeah.
They are on the brink of elimination from the Kuala Lumpur Major SEA qualifier, and to come so close as well, right? This is the qualification match. You win this, you go. You lose, that's it. There's no consolation prize. You could potentially make your way through the minor, but that is going to be a really long journey. So we're going to jump to a break, guys. As you can see, the next lobby is already up. So game 2 of Lotac versus TNC Predator coming up in just a couple of minutes' time. Stay tuned.
10 seconds remaining.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. Kuala Lumpur Major SEA Qualifier Lower Bracket Final. Lotac versus TNC Predator. Game number 2. TNC 1 game away from securing their spot in the Major. Lotac going to have to make the full run back, win these 2 games in a row to take it. I'm Baseskip. Joining me once again is Demon, who apparently has a new microphone. Let's hear how it sounds.
Test. Is this better? Different? Same?
It is different. Maybe it's a little bit better. Let's go with that.
Man, I don't know if it's my PC or something, man. I always have mic issues, and it's like I don't have cheap headsets either, man.
Yeah, no, I think this is a bit better, but yeah, it's
TNC Predators turn to pick.
Are people
I don't want to
being
call these brands out.
right. Have people been complaining to you on?
Yeah, I've been getting. I got a few tweets about it, but
Oh, okay.
like I said, these are not cheap headsets, man. The last one I was using was like worth $200, and this one I'm using, I think, is like $100 headsets.
Yeah.
They're all gaming headsets.
Right. I don't know if you'd think that the microphone would be more of a priority on those things, but sometimes not the case. Anyway,
I think it's just how my setup or my PC. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah. That's
Anyways,
alright.
Oh, Silencer actually got through, and Enigma's still in the pool too.
That's true. Yeah. Wait,
going on?
When did Enigma get banned last game?
Did he get banned last game? Actually, I could be wrong about that, huh?
It might have just been like that. Might be more of a
5 seconds
Admiral Dota
remaining.
thing. Yeah, I don't think Enigma was ignored last game.
Okay.
Radiant
But Silencer wasn't.
No, Silencer wasn't, but they opted to ban the Weaver instead of the Silencer. So TNC get the Silencer. Lotac with a mega early Clockwork pick.
TNC
Huh?
Predators turn
Okay, yeah, I mean Tiny, I'm familiar with the Tiny, but
TNC
Clockwork a little bit weird, and TNC just
It's
gonna
the
go
thing
straight
that
for the
matters.
Necrophos.
Actually, thinking about it, Clock is pretty good. If I remember, Silencer doesn't really do anything to Clock, especially if Clock is able to snowball and have a good start.
Yeah.
Just focus the Silencer and CC him very well in every team fight. Focus him, and he'll never be able to get his global
Radiant
off as
team
well.
back.
It's kind of a weird versus Necrophos. It kind of really depends on the rest of the 3 heroes on both sides and how they can really complement each other. But for the most part, Clock locking down Necro, because no one really buys 4 staffs these days because of they got a little bit more expensive. The nerf on it, the mana cost
Yeah.
is a bit higher too. So I mean, hey man, Clockwork's
10
returning
seconds remaining.
from the graveyard here, so see how well he
5
does.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. If they wanted it, I think they could have left it until a little bit later on. But who knows? Maybe these 2 teams have been scrimming each other a little bit. Maybe there's some additional information that we don't really know about. But I'm guessing just going to end up being the position for Clockwork. Tiny probably going to be that core once again. I do kind of wish I want to see Raven on like a different hero. I want to see him on a harder carry this game, but I get the feeling that maybe Lotac are just going to be giving the Tiny to him again. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Cheon can play something with a little bit more scaling potential on mid lane. Not that Viper is a bad scaling hero, but I'm just thinking we've been seeing
10 seconds
Abed on
remaining.
his Templar Assassin kind of just completely taking over these games and really becoming the position 1. And I feel like it would be nice if they could have something along those lines as opposed to having the Tiny as sort of the only big farmer
Radiant team
scaling
back.
hero.
With both of these 2 heroes kind of shown right now, TA would work on either side still for the
Yeah.
teams, but TNC does lack some disable. You have like I said, when you pick these like silencers and IOs and liches, you need your other core or support to have some sort of
10
strong
seconds remaining.
disable. And if you don't, hey man, there's sometimes these lineups
5
work like draw
seconds
lineups and so
remaining.
forth, but it makes your game a little bit more difficult, and you have to kind of change the way that you kind of generally think about the game,
Yeah.
because when you ganking and movements, it's much more difficult. And smoke ganks, they're much more difficult if you don't have these stuns and these lockdowns.
Yeah, I really like the way that TNC are like doing the legwork for the Necrophos here. So they picked the Necrophos early, it's already, you know, maybe it's an okay game for him or not. There's some burst damage on the Lotac side, but they banned the Kunkka, so they're at least going to be able to get the scythes off pretty reliably. There won't be Rum interfering with that, and the lane against Batrider and just kind of the game in general are both horrifying for Necrophos, so just going to be banning that out. They could have maybe taken the Batrider for themselves if they really wanted it. Pretty nice little combination with the silencer, but just going to opt to ban it out instead, and Lotac already dipping into some reserve time as they go for the Ancient Apparition. They're really focusing on this Necrophos pick as something that they want to shut down, but that might just leave TNC open to have one of their other cores just go crazy this game.
Yeah, I kind of do like this AA pickup. There it is. That's the strong. Oh, bang! Shaker, second phase.
Yeah. That's
different as well, huh? It's been a while. Maybe it's just a long forgotten hero there. But I don't know. This AA used to be an old counter for Necro, and the fact that they have Clockwork as well, this Clock AA combo can honestly just the support duo can kill this Necrophos over and over. And I don't know they pick Shaker into or against a Clockwork. You know, a hard counter for him.
That's a classic counter for sure.
That's a dual support, which Clockwork he just completely destroys these two heroes, man. And I guess he does pretty well versus Necro now, because like I said, you don't really want to rush a Force Staff. And maybe for this Shaker, he's just gonna rush an Aghanims. He shouldn't really go Blink Dagger. And him going Aghanims is gonna be improve his tank ability against this Tiny, so he won't be able to burst them that much easier. And with Aghanims, he can always jump out of cogs.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something to look at here. So Lotac have to show us another core. They just go for Brewmaster. Okay. So again, another lineup who has sort of middling building damage. Though TNC also kind of the same situation at the moment for them. The Brewmaster also another good hero against the Necrophos. There is a lot of lockdown for him this game, but should still be able to get the Primal Split off reasonably reliably. The Purge is going to be pretty annoying for Necrophos, but so I think it's mostly going to be about these last two TNC cores. This Necrophos' game is looking impossible. So
I do want to mention real quick, because I got some feedback on the headset. It says it's a lot better. This headset is actually HyperX, one of the sponsors for Qualifier. So I'm not even joking. It's the Cloud. I think it's the Cloud one.
Okay.
Cloud 2. One of the. I don't know which cloud it is, but it's one of those clouds.
Yeah. My brother bought that headset recently. Yeah. So there you go.
It was good. I'm not gonna name the other headset, so
no flame, just in case.
No flame arena, man. Yeah, no, seriously, I am using a HyperX. But yeah, Storm being picked up now too, which is another kind of it counters the Clockwork, because Clockwork doesn't really do anything to Storm. So, they don't really have any lockdown for the Storm. Just like similar to what we talked about in that Fnatic game, right? Yeah. They didn't have much lockdown for the Storm. They have a Tiny, but other than that, they have no actual real follow-up.
Yeah, if he ever sees the Tiny, he can kind of do whatever he wants. Like, maybe they can have the Clockwork hook in and then get a cog pushback or something, but that still needs to be followed up by the Tiny. So.
The only way you really counter this Storm with Clock, it's my pub build. I do pick Click sometimes. I go Midas, and you just have to get your 25, and that's the extra battery assault tick. And Storm cannot do anything in that aspect. Just hook him, and Storm's stuck there unless he gets a BKB. Gotta play for 25. You know, like how we talked about last game.
Play for 20.
Play for 20.
Yeah, exactly. 25. And TNC, all right, they just wanted some. They wanted some building damage. Needed some physical damage output, and something that can still kind of lane against the Brew, I suppose, have a little bit of kill threat against him, so the spin is certainly going to help for that, but just a Jug. It's nothing too flashy, nothing too interesting, but Magic Immune carry and Lotac are all magical damage, pretty much, so far. What is the last pick for them? Can they put Tiny mid? Is Tiny versus Storm, is that a playable matchup?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good, because Tiny is able to deny with his branch any remnant that's used, and he has kill potential on Storm. Yeah, it's still possible.
Yeah, so they can still
But
pick like a.
I think no. I think the pick is gonna be Lina. Lina just should
Okay.
be Lina. Unless they banned it, no. Oh, AM.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
No, they're picking the Raven hero. So this is kind of what I. This is sort of what I wanted, but at the same time, I don't know how good anti-mage.
That is not a Raven hero. I've never seen Raven play anti-mage.
I don't know. But they're putting it on him to try and just win the game for them, I think.
They have 4 heroes that do very well versus Necro, though, because Brewmaster is also a counter to Necro. In that sense, but...
I think this is just supposed to be like the last pick Storm counter, kind of. But that matchup is not that straightforward, right? Like, if Storm gets to his Orchid pretty quickly, and Anti-Mage is not having a good game, then AM actually just becomes food for Storm for a little while. But nah, look at those cosmetics. Raven's definitely an Anti-Mage player, so it's no problem.
Well, he's just made so much money in his career where he's just gonna get all the items that he wants for every Dota character.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt Lina would have been a lot better here, but hey, man, you know, because you get an extra stun, you have a lot of pressure. It's just pushing waves for them. It's not going to be like they don't have any wave clear. You have a Clockwork that's not going to be hitting creeps. Yamate is not going to be hitting creeps. Brewmaster, he kind of is, but his wave clear is so slow. And Tiny, okay, he has really good wave clear, but then you have an anti-mage. You have to wait for his Battle Fury to have any sort of wave clear. So I don't know how I feel about this, but
the other thing is that they, like you talked about the Clock AA combo, but they have to put, for that to work, they have to put both of them in the same lane, and that does mean that Ohio might be left out on an island a little bit.
No, I'm not talking about putting in the lane. I meant just like as the game progresses, where Clock is going to hook a target and AA is going to ulti him.
Okay, yeah, so not so much about the... yeah.
And I mean, they can rotate later in the first nighttime, which is around 4.5 to 5.5 minutes, where supports usually kind of, we call it, you connect, and you would either rotate to mid, to their off lane, or to their safe lane. Rarely you want to do the off lane, but for the most part, go to the safe lane. See how it works, and it's gonna be Jug. Jug was a good pick because Jug is also pretty good versus Clockwork as well. You can never really hook into that guy.
Yeah. And they needed a way to potentially secure Roshan as well for the Storm. Would be really nice to get a Aegis on this Armel Storm Spirit at some point. Got some happy birthdays. Whose birthday is it today? So it's is it? It's okay. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know whose birthday it is, man.
I think it's Wikipedia says it's Cuckoo's.
Is it?
Apparently. I don't know. There's
30 seconds.
Everybody's just wishing everybody a happy birthday. I don't know. This is like the Shiver meme. It's always Shiver's birthday every day.
Happy birthday, Shiver.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we got this Raven anti-mage. We'll see how this works out. TNC looking like it's just gonna be 2 bounty runes trade. They really want this win. They want to go to the major. Lotac under a lot of pressure here. Nice cog pushback. Ohio does manage. No, he doesn't actually. Wait, who got that? Gabby managed to snag it.
He fed the cog 17 gold for Ninja Boogie. That's like another bounty rune.
Yeah. Good start. 1 CS. Easy peasy. Oh, Armel overblocking a little bit. Oh, wait. Yeah, Tiny, you want to let this go, I think. Yeah, okay, right. So it goes into the tower, and now Tiny can start getting these denies. This is actually a pretty good start for the... I don't think the Tiny minds it starting like this, though. Okay, he only got the 1. Storm tried to remnant that range creep, didn't get it. But nobody got that last hit, it looks like. Storm is 0 for 0 after the first wave. Not fun. Clockwork just looking for these cogs, but still getting harassed down a little bit by Ninja Boogie. It's a double melee lane against melee ranged, so Ninja Boogie going to be able to harass pretty easily. At least up until the Clockwork gets boots or something.
And how they're really going to play this top lane is AU needs to hit all of his cogs onto this Jug. like that. Drain all of his mana down, and he needs to be denying these cogs and not just running away.
Did you see that? That was 3 misses in a row on that cog. All right, no, they've got the haze, but
it's a 70% chance, man.
That's true. That's true.
Pretty high.
That's still.
All right,
we got more of this going on. They changed it so that you can't pull the first wave. Oh well, guess what? People just pull the second wave or the third wave. It's getting a bit silly. I don't know what they could do about this though. It's part of the game, I suppose.
Gabby's just gonna dance around these creeps until his wave comes up, and because of that, he'll be able to deny a wave as well and farm a wave and a half.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice for him. Just gonna be going for some phase boots here. Invis rune on Tim's. Don't know if he can really use that to do anything too useful. Maybe they can catch out somebody at bottom. That is where he's heading down. No, actually, he just opts to. All right, he's gonna unblock the pull, the side pull here, just so that they can get this out from underneath the tower and get a little bit more room to chase. Cuckoo's farming pretty nicely. Raven taking quite a bit of harassment already. You'd think that this lane would be, like, it looks like it might be okay for anti-mage, but he can't actually ever really go up and hit the necrophos. He just takes a couple of slaps every single time he tries, and Cuckoo can just keep easily sustaining by CSing.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's just no point in really harassing until Clock actually can make a rotation bottom. I think once he gets his boots, they can just feed off this bottom lane.
Yeah. Yamate did opt to reblock the side pull there. Tim's didn't have a tango or anything to eat the
Look
center.
at this mid lane too. This Chuan guy is double CS and Armel. I was like, no game. He's buying so much regen. You can see Chuan, he's closing up on his boots. Cancels the salve as well. He already has his bottle wand already at 3 minutes, and Armel is just struggling to get his bottle right now because he's.
Yeah, another avalanche. There's a fairy fire. Arma gonna be looking for the turnaround here. This is a dive too deep. That's first blood for the Storm Spirit. He was getting completely locked out of this lane, and Chuan.
The caster curse I've always heard about.
Yeah, this is exactly how that feels.
He's gonna feed him gold.
Is that worth?
Did he get? I think he got XP too.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, because he. I think he did. Not because of the TP, but it's like if you die, right? No. If you die and it's your kill,
because he's alive.
Yeah. Look at his level.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello, Armel?
Yeah, that was alright. A little bit.
He's level 5 now.
Questionable value. Clockwork TPing mid. We'll be looking for another kill on Armel.
I think he should toss the
Cuckoo. Alright, he's gonna be fine. Even just gonna let the cold feet proc. I don't know if that was the right decision. Raven gets a couple of free auto attacks in. Does have the Ghost Shroud and stick charges, so I don't think he's in too much danger. A little bit more avalanche harassment at mid. And actually, across all 3 lanes, things going pretty darn well for Lotac. But we also saw this happen in the previous game and didn't end up amounting to too much, so not gonna count our chickens before they hatch.
They're gonna look into taking the bounty runes, but oh dang, huge wave by Ohio here. Got a double wave up top. It's an attempt to spin by Gabby here,
but no, there's a cog right on top of it. So Ohio.
And I think right now AU should just go smoke and play around this mid or bottom area, and the fact that Armel is just gonna go jungle because he knows he can't lane. He should just go smoke bottom and focus on this Necro and Earthshaker. Like I don't think he should be chasing the Storm in the jungle.
Yeah, and they see him running up here. They've already got a ward down, so Armel knows exactly that he's coming, and I mean AU has to suspect that he spotted this rotation. He does slap his clarity off, but that's nothing compared to getting a kill at bottom and seeing the Clockwork over there. Cuckoo's like, sure, I'm not very high on HP, but still able to stick around a little bit longer. Does need to be careful, but he's kind of baiting with the stick charges. Actually going to be going over to the shrine, looking to back up Armel. Can he stay next to the shrine regen? Yes, he can. AU does not have a TP scroll, but are they even interested in doing anything about him? No, he's just gonna be able to walk away.
He's not really making the right rotations. TPing back top now. Ohio's level 6.
Yeah. Dropping a little bit low. Gonna be looking for the turnaround. They pop the Primal Split. They just need to get into the trees. They're focusing on the Ninja Boogie. Gabby trying to micro the Healing Ward to help him out a little bit. Nice micro. They will be able to grab this Ninja Boogie kill. It looks like, yeah, another boulder toss coming in. And, oh, Gabby, I mean, he's got 19 wand. He is just fine. Pretty high level on this Brewmaster. All these double waves and stuff that he's been able to grab. And some fast phase boots. So, Ohio's game looking pretty solid at this point. Down bottom, they are hunting for Cuckoo. Yeah, the Clockwork looking for him. Let's get trapped inside of the cogs, still holding onto the stick charges. Pops them now with the Ghost Shroud. Ninja Boogie doing what he can. Cuckoo does not have the Reaper Scythe, but Raven only a level 4 anti-mage. Not a whole lot that he can do. The Fisher coming in. Cuckoo does manage to get off one more Death Pulse. I don't think that's going to be enough to kill. Tims is still chasing. AU even gets one more cogs out onto Tims.
And he just obviously revealed
Yeah,
his
gave
ward
away
as
his
well.
ward.
But I mean, like I mentioned, the problem was like you need to rotate, and these. Remember what I talked about? Just AA and Clock need to play together. These supports need to play. Oh wow, good kill on top. How did that happen? Gabby?
I feel like this has happened a bit in this series. Where like Gabby's on Weaver, Gabby's on Jug, and all of a sudden he's just dead.
Ohio is just styling on the safe laner, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, like going back to what I said, it's just like this Clock and AA need to play together. They do so much damage. Like if it was on Necro and he's gonna use his Ghost Shroud, eventually he's gonna get cold feeded, stunned, and then they're gonna right click him down with this Chilling Touch on top of a battery assault. He's just gonna die, and it's the highest level in the game. Is he? Yeah. I mean, he's 4th highest in net worth as well. So
Yeah, it's certainly a worthwhile kill to find if they could. Ninja Boogie is just trying to soak mid a little bit, keep the tier 1 tower protected. Tiny not really able to pressure that tower all that much. Even though the Storm Spirit's been away from this lane for multiple minutes. Like, Armel hasn't even been at all interested in coming here. He's been just off farming jungle camps. There is a deep Lotac ward. Anticipating that the Storm is going to be farming around here, but looks like do they know about it? What are these pings? Yeah, okay. Sentry ward goes down, and quick D ward. Tim's snagging that gold for himself. Makes some progress towards that Blink Dagger or the Aghanim Scepter. Whatever the case may be.
I actually like what Raven is doing here as well. He's opting for the Vanguard. He went for Aquila. He's going for this early game kind of build. He actually went 2 in Spell Shield too. It's pretty good for the laning. So he's not doing this greedy, typical rushing Battle Fury build. Rather than he's gonna go this fighting anti-mage build. So it's here the early game because you can't. That's not really how you play Dota these days. You don't just have a hero that just sits and farms for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You need to find a way to have your carry pressure the map one way or another.
Yeah. Do you think he still goes back for the Battle Fury here? Is it like Vanguard then back to that, or is it Vanguard Manta style?
Potentially. It's just, but probably Manta style just because they do have a silencer.
Yeah. Blinks over into the trees. They're hunting for him. This is a really long blink cooldown, and they've got a scythe for him as well. Lotac not able to protect their anti-mage. Nobody even TPing at all. Just going to completely leave him, hanging him out to dry. Ohio, they're going to toss the Brewmaster in on the mid lane, but his Tranquil Boots are actually unbroken because they couldn't hit him, so he just gets the Fisher out, and he's laughing. He's fine. Ohio takes half of his HP off of that. And TNC just going to get this tier 1 tower down bottom, it looks like for free. Mid lane not going to get pressured. Gabby gets the top lane pushed out to the tower. Clockwork's waiting around the corner, but he's only level 3. And this Jug is not an easy kill, plus he has a ton of great vision for all these rotations coming up to his lane. So they know exactly where Ohio is. He's the strongest hero on the map right now for Lotac, and they're kind of avoiding him extremely well.
And they definitely need to be playing with and around this Brewmaster a little bit more. Clock or AA need to pick up a smoke, which they should have a little bit earlier.
I'm gonna say almost 6. He really wants this Ice Blast. Gabby coming running up. Yamate just gonna go for the TP out. Only TPing to the tier 1 tower. Still not quite at his level 6 just yet. Just needs one more creep to die and he'll have it. Cuckoo already applying a lot of pressure at bottom. Looks like he's pretty much got his is he just going for Hood first?
They should just make a smoke play. Like they don't need their yeah, and actually Yamate is already level 6, but this level 8 Necro, it's like he shouldn't be able to do this all by himself too.
Yeah, they're looking for him. He's gonna come back over to this ward in a second. They do have the hasted Tiny, so Cuckoo... Avalanche just completely whiffs. Cuckoo might just be able to walk this off. Alright, they're gonna toss him back into the Ice Blast. Nice little bit of coordination. It does cost them the Primal Split, so a little bit expensive. And TNC now smoking up, heading over towards top lane. Looking to catch out. I guess they're just gonna catch AU. Doesn't have.
He wasn't sure if AA ulti was gonna hit. If he did, then he wouldn't have primal splitted for sure. Because Toss would have been up again.
Alright, well, easy kill for the Storm. Armel, #1 on net worth on TNC. The lane did not go great for him, but then he got that kill, and he's just been farming the jungle. And TNC looking for their second tier 1 tower of the game. Their objective playing has just been so much better than Lotac in this game. Chuan is going to reveal himself, or reveal his Blink Dagger. Only getting the kill on Ninja Boogie. I don't know if that was that great. He probably... Surely he could have just killed one of the cores from TNC if he'd waited a little bit longer, but... Settled for the silencer kill. He'll still be able to pressure, I suppose. They can go for another smoke gank soon.
Yeah. Tiny should have his Blink now. He has Arcane Rune, Blink. He's ready. He's going to be looking for kill soon, and it looks like they are going... They'll just refill a bottle here.
Yep. Keep Armel farming. Raven's farming on top of a Dire Obs. It looks like he is going to be going for some treads back into a Yasha. I like the Vanguard this game because it also changes the number of heroes that it takes to kill him. It goes from kind of a 2-man gank to a 3-man gank, and they kind of have to bring maybe an additional core. Like we saw earlier, it took the Storm and the Necrophos to bring him down. Because I think otherwise he might just die to 1 core plus like one of the supports.
And is opting to also max out his spell shield eventually too. But that was a very good Radiant or Dire Observer Ward by TNC. They did notice the Tiny came down bottom, so that's why you can see Cuckoo is playing very passively here. Just stacking and just farming the big camp, just waiting to kind of farm. Then Raven actually feels pressured because of it as well. No one is actually showing on the TNC map. Every single hero is actually off map right now. Cuckoo's about to show now. So if anything, he feels confident to play aggressive because everyone's missing on TNC. They probably feel like people are smoked bottom, and it's just Tem, man. It's just Cuckoo, Carlo, Palad right there.
Yeah, they saw... Okay, so they saw Gabby on this ward flash for a second. He's running in here looking for something with the Omni Slash. Up top, they're going to pop the global, looking for Brewmaster. They do manage to bring him down. Tim's starting that one off. Nice global usage. Gabby's still in here pretty deep. I don't know what exactly he's doing. He's trying to dodge the avalanche. Gets picked up by the toss. He does have an Omni Slash, but there's no real target. They would have just stacked up and tanked that among
Gabby,
the three of them. Why is he there?
This is not a pub, Gabby. You don't even have a TP running in like a madman here. Why are you there?
I guess they were trying to wrap around to set up something on the mid-tier one, but yeah, that was...
To also mention, Ohio actually opted for the Midas, which I really like, because he sees like this game, the pace of this game is very slow. No one's really taking team fights, and Tiny already has his Blink Dagger. And it's like, you know, I realize this game is going to go late. I don't need to force these fights because TNC just kind of just wants to sit back right now. And we'll just let this Clockwork and this Tiny to create the tempo for the team.
And Brewmaster at level 25, like he's got some sick talents. The Primal Split HP, and then also picking up the Primal Split cooldown. After that, it's just kind of non-stop. Very, very potent. So if you can get those extra levels in, it's going to be nice. They go on to Gabby. Did he manage to grab the Bounty Rune? He did not. Raven able to snipe that one away, but it is still going to be TNC. 3 Bounty Runes all day. A little bit of a net worth lead in their favor. And they've got a Reaper Scythe that looks like they are itching to use down here at bottom. Raven's actually going to come TPing in. He's going to be the one to farm this. But I don't know if they can... Can they actually kill him? Oh. Gabby dead at mid.
Gabby?
Tiny having a great game here. And now Lotac going to go for an immediate smoke. They do have another Primal Split. It's still only level 1, but that shouldn't be too much of an obstacle. Clockwork's finally got his level 7, so he's peeking a little bit, or at least has a lot of damage. They are going to get the drag back and the Scythe onto Raven at bottom. Steal 2 int for good measure. Unfortunately, Lotac won't be able to protect their carry.
So you know what you call that right there, Basket?
What?
That lane? Bottom lane?
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's the dead lane for sure. Got a hook shot in here on mid, but they're gonna pop the global sounds, looking to turn this one around. Trouble for Tiny. He does get the Avatos combo off. Armel's still alive. One more touch from the Ancient Apparition is gonna do it. Cuckoo's trapped inside of the cogs with AU. Now with the Ice Blast coming through, Gabby trying to spin down the Clockwork. Does also have an Omni Slash once he gets out, but there's too many units here, and they also managed to lift up the Earthshaker. Omni Slash mostly bouncing onto Yamate. Can they finish this kill? Yes, they can. Ninja Boogie grabs it. 4 heroes dead so far on Lotac, and Ohio, the only one who will be able to saunter away. But TNC, even after they got that kill at bottom, still managing to bring everybody over to mid and taking that fight really nicely. Necrophos doing a ton of damage. It's a good global silence.
I'm just sad because this clock should have been much more farmed than what he has now. He should be over leveled rather than what I feel right now at 17 minutes, barely level 7.
I mean, he's 0, 2, and 0. He hasn't even really participated.
He was too busy chasing the Storm. Like, no matter what, Storm's gonna have a game. He should think less about trying to like screw his game up, but think of a way to make his game better. And it was all the kill potential on bottom, which was the Necro and Earthshaker. And now as this game is progressing, it's like Tim's, he's already 1500 away from Ags, 1700 HP. I don't see how he's going to be able to really kill or do any sort of damage to him anymore. You can see like this Earthshaker is almost double the net worth of this Clockwork.
Yeah, that farm gap is pretty worrying. But also, who else is down here? It's Raven on this Anti-Mage. Desperately trying to catch up, but still just struggling a bit. Brewmaster is going to be going for a blink. They got 40 seconds until another Primal Split. Cuckoo's already picked up a 4-staff now, so we're already getting to the point of the game where it feels like the Clockwork not going to be having as much of an impact, and they get baited by an illusion.
Yikes.
Looking in onto that. Oh, Lotac. Not like this.
Not like this.
They came all this way, and it's just like, I feel like they're just looking a little bit off. I don't know if they're psyched out because this is like the qualification match or what, but they have experienced players. These guys have played on some pretty big stages, so I really don't know what's going on.
Oh. Three of them have played at TIs. I'm not sure if Yamate has. Maybe, actually, he has. 4 people have played at TIs here. Multiple TIs, if anything. And I don't know. We have to. This game, I think, is really gonna come down to Anti-Mage. If they can kind of prolong it, AM getting 4 slotted, 3 slotted.
Get a big Mana Void on the Storm or the Necro. Yeah, could be an opportunity. They're gonna pop the global here. They're focusing on the Brewmaster. Huge zip in from Armel. That's his entire mana pool, but that's the entire HP pool of the Brewmaster as well. Just gone. 40 seconds dead for Ohio. They see Raven farming over at mid, and TNC aren't necessarily done. Alright, they're running over towards him. There is going to be a hookshot in onto Boogie. Not an amazing kill, but they'll take that one as TNC just trying to retreat out. They do manage to catch the Avalanche. Toss back. Tim's doesn't have the mana for the Echo Slam, but you know, they're not even really looking for this. Raven just going to secure that with the Void and right back to farming. But overall trade still ends up being... the fight recap doesn't show the Brewmaster kill, but that's still some very nice gold and kind of needed for the Anti-Mage.
I'm really curious on why, because I'm watching Yamate, how he's using his spells in his team fights, and he's holding off on his cold feet quite a bit, and he uses that the last second for some odd reason. I don't know why. Like every time any sort of fight or engagement happens, he's just constantly holding off.
Cuckoo. Force, toss back. He does still have his hood. He's still got the Ghost Shroud. I think they've realized that this is not a kill. They needed the, like, I don't know, they needed to not go for the cute play on the Tiny. I think they just needed to go for the maximum damage play. He didn't have a tree grabbed either, so no opportunity to make full use of the Echo Saber. It was just a sloppy attempt.
We always generally know how this AM versus Storm matchup goes. As the later the game goes, it progresses, it's going to be better for this Anti-Mage. But then again, it's still hard for an AM game, because if they use Global at the right timing and they have an Earthshaker as well, it's pretty hard. It's also a hard AM game too.
But yeah, this is not a free Anti-Mage game at all. There's lots of different heroes that, if they're off the map, you can't really split push all the way as far as you might like. Ninja Boogie getting jumped on here by AU, but Armel's here to back him up, and Cuckoo's just around the corner. There might be a Scythe waiting for this Clockwork. Nope, they're going to save it. Just right-clicking him down. Armel has a regen rune popped as well, so he's right back in fighting shape, and they're going to be able to continue this push down towards bottom. I like the build from Gabby. He's just gone for a bunch of little items, kind of nothing too crazy. He's just here to help chop buildings and provide a little bit of support in the fights. It's really all about the Storm Spirit and the Necrophos.
I was also wondering why Brewmaster was so dumb, but it's because Silencer has been stealing all of his intel, and why his his mana pool is so low.
He doesn't have a wand or anything either. Zero stat items on Ohio.
Did you click on him? What do you think that looks like? Doesn't that look like Sniper to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this set for Brewmaster.
Pay to win right there. You think it's a Sniper, but it's a fat Sniper.
Yeah, it's really fat Sniper. Ninja Boogie, alright. Another death. Just trying to plant some wards, it looks like. Gonna jump onto Gabby, force it a drum charge, but he's gonna be okay. Armel is hunting inside of the base. Yamate, he's looking at the other side of the map, trying to throw out this Ice Blast, and he's gonna be brought down. Armel does have no mana left, and he's trapped by the Cold Feet. Alright, maybe zip-zapping a little bit too much for this kill, and Raven gonna be more than happy to take that 400 gold.
What is Armel doing? What was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, he bought out. I mean, he bought out. He didn't have a blood. Whatever, man. Space. That's called that. I mean, he
just call it space. Like that's how this goes.
I don't know. You just gave AM his Manta. I don't know.
Yeah, AM's slowly climbing the net worth chart here. You know, not as fast as he would if he had a Battle Fury, but still, Raven is getting up there. We got a game on our hands.
Uh-huh.
Jug Manta, Tiny going Shadow Blade soon. Storm Spirit's got this Bloodstone, so he's probably itching to grab a couple more kills in a second. And 23 minutes in, we do finally have this Tim's Aghanim Scepter completed, so that is a very big pickup for him. And yeah, they're immediately going. This is 2 huge items that they've just grabbed. What are they opting for? They probably want a pick-off. If they keep everybody alive, they could maybe go for Roshan after that. They're kind of dangling Cuckoo as bait, but nobody's really coming forward. Lotac seems suspicious that something is happening, and they're just hanging back here. They do get a big zip in onto Yamate. Tim's jumping into the backlines. Who can he find? Spots Ohio. AU going in as well. He's in trouble now. Isolated from the team. Lotac not really coordinating this all that well. They're going to scythe down the secondary support. Clockwork dead for 70 seconds.
That was sick. So what happened there was Cuckoo dragged the whole wave from mid all the way into Roshan, like right in front of Roshan, but not inside the pit. So it seemed like TNC was actually doing Roshan, but in reality, and that's why Lotac was playing so.
Well, global pop. They really want this Brewmaster kill. They're going to pop the Omni Slash and everything else for it. He buys back immediately. TNC, though, if they can just get out of here, the Mono Void instantly kills the Silencer. It does so much damage. Armel's got nothing left. He's just forced to pop the Bloodstone Suicide. Raven's chasing for more. He blinks on top of his Tiny, who then tosses him on top of Tim's. The chase is on now. Tim's is going to have another jump away soon, but Raven, hot on his heels, won't be able to finish it, though.
Yeah, so going back to it, those 2 kills only happened because Cuckoo was baiting them, thinking that TNC is actually doing Roshan, so that's why Lotac was playing so aggressively, because they wanted to defend that Roshan. And that's why AA and Clock were so out of position. And, you know, they were actually, but instead, you know, the rest of TNC's teammates were just smoking around and trying to kill them aggressively. And immediately, you know, they moved over. That was pretty sick. And I know how Cuckoo thinks, you know, he's just thinking like, you know, guys, I'm going to bait them over here.
Yeah.
I'm going to think we're rushing right now, and then you guys can make this play, you know, so. Awesome, man.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. But then the Mono Void from Raven was also pretty nice as the follow-up. Ohio gets knocked down on the net worth a little bit after that buyback, but still finding good levels, and I think that's really what he's all about in this situation. Has opted for all the survivability talents, so 200 HP and the 20% magic resistance. So it does take a little bit more of a commitment to kill him, but TNC are looking for another smoke. They've got a Reaper's Scythe off cooldown in 3 seconds time. They're missing a couple of really important cooldowns, but that's what makes this smoke a little bit unexpected, though. Lotac still playing together as 5. And looking for the backstab, they spot Gabby. He's sitting on top of this Radiant Observer Ward, so they know that he's in the area. And TNC still just watching this mid wave getting farmed. They're kind of dangling Yamate down as bait. Ohio also here. They're going to focus on him. Can they get the burst? They need a little bit more damage. No, he's not quite able to get the primal split off. What killed him?
Clutch last word. Clutch last word right there. That was super clutch. It was so close. I think he got the last word in the middle of the animation. Not like at the beginning, but he got it during halfway into the animation. Because otherwise, if he, I don't know. That was close.
I thought he'd gotten it off because the scythe didn't kill him. So anyway, all right. TNC, quick pick. Are they just gonna try for Roche? They take this reasonably quickly. 40 seconds. They do have to be a little bit aware of the Ice Blast. Rocket Player is going to be scouting this as well, and Tiny can follow up on the Ice Blast too. He's going to come in, Avatar's combination. Gabby's just gone instantly. They do pop the global, but it's just a little bit too late. Ooh, Clockwork going to be looking for this hook, and does get interrupted. That was really, that was nice.
BKB and Necro now as well. That was really nice. Good positioning by Chuan there for sure. And comboing together with the Rocket Flare and AA Blast. And Raven has his Basher now. I mean, in about 200 golds.
Yeah, this aim's getting big. It's gonna be very difficult to deal with. They don't really have a ton of physical damage. I mean, level 25 is still a little ways away, but once he gets that Spell Shield talent, it's gonna be very hard to kill him off. And Lotac actually smoking into the pit themselves. They know that the global is down, but TNC have pretty much everything else. 20 seconds to go, actually, on the Reaper side. So this is about as good an opportunity as Lotac are going to get. They're not taking this all that quickly, though. Raven tanking quite a bit of damage. Do have the cold feet. Tim's coming in. They're going to pop the primal split to just try and secure it. I don't know why they're going on the silencer when he doesn't have global available. This is not the most impactful of kills. TNC kite this out a little bit. Gabby just spinning defensively. Silencer buying back. Inside the pit, it's Armel just scouting. Yamate's waiting over here. Has nobody seen Armel? He's just in here. What is happening? How is Armel just standing here? Ohio gonna get jumped on. He's already used the split. They're gonna try and sight them down. He survives a little bit longer. Losing another 2 int. Tim's jumping in aggressively. The avalanche catches him. Gabby getting lifted up into the air. Doesn't get the Omni Slash off. Just yet Tim's finds the 2-man Echo Slam. Good damage out of the Tiny, but the Cogs closes the door. Tim's jumping out onto the other side of the fight. Can he get another Enchant Totem off? No. Chuan's found him. They bring him down, but that's also a Tiny buyback forced out. And that was just that was 2 supports for 2 cores on the TNC side. Roshan's healing all this while. This is getting weird, Jimmy. Like, what is happening here?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. These fights are so chaotic here. I mean, they still have the thing about with TNC's lineup. They have all of their spells still. I mean, for the important ones, which were pretty much Global and Juggernaut ulti. Yeah, Echo may be down. Maybe Necro ulti is down as well. But you know, so what? You know. Like, this global is kind of the game changer. They don't really have BKBs yet on Lotac. They don't have... Yeah, Brewmaster was close, but he used buyback earlier. Tiny's still miles away from his BKB. I think they can just run into Roche if they wanted to again. Actually, it's still pretty hard, because if they do AA Blast and Rockets, Tiny can just still combo anyone there.
Yeah.
And I think the smart thing to do right now is Armel's definitely making the right play. He's getting all the space. They know everyone's playing around Roshan. Get a kill here.
Tim's hasn't been seen. He's just hiding in this little patch of fog. Ohio still not going to see him. Okay, spots him now. Tim's is going to look to lock him down. They force out the primal split, but this isn't with anybody nearby.
Yikes.
Ohio just too afraid, uses that in a bad situation, and that is going to be a big advantage for TNC, though. Yeah, both teams still struggling to kind of force Roshan and Cuckoo in a little bit of an awkward situation, but the Ice Blast is going somewhere else. It's not hitting the Necrophos.
Storm. This Abyssal pickup is going to be pretty big on Raven. He's about 300 off, and I think it's a pretty game-winning item. You know, you just blink in, if you get this Abyssal on a Storm Spear, and you follow up with the Tiny, he's going to die.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Armel. And he's finished his Orchid, but it's going to take him quite a while to finish the Lincoln Sphere or anything like that. So he's going to be a liability for a little while for his team. Needs to make sure that he's not standing too close to anybody, otherwise that Mana Void could just pop all 5 of them, right? If Storm's completely and he gets Mana Voided, that'll just be the end of the entire team.
The AoE is pretty big.
Yeah, it's only now level 18 as well, right? It's like the Mana Void that we saw before. That was a level 2 Mana Void. We've got the level 3 Mana Void online now. So
this is just posturing around mid and.
Tiny doing the right thing, pressuring top. Double catapult wave going to work pretty quickly. So even with Armel defending this, tower's still going to take a lot of damage.
They definitely can kill this Storm as long as they get an A blast on top of him with the Tiny combo.
Gabby's just trying to go for a Scotty. He's just kind of tanking up a bit more.
Chuan should just hit the tower, man.
He's scared. He doesn't know where the Shaker is. Oh, big zip across. They saw him running through the Ob Sentry combination. Do they have a little bit more detection? He's actually also dusted up. Gabby's slowing him down. They're looking for this kill. Lotac, can they get over here to help him? He's running up. They're going to drop the Echo. Tim's making 100% secure of that kill. 100 seconds dead for the Tiny. They know that he bought back a little bit earlier, didn't he? So, yeah, he's dead for 100. Raven waiting in the pit. Ohio's there. He jumps in, but immediate spin from Gabby, and Tim's has already jumped up onto the high ground. Good force staff from Cuckoo. They are running circles around Ohio right now. They are going to be able to get a Fissure block to save Gabby. Raven jumped in with the Abyssal Blade, but Tim's is making the plays, and now down in the river, Yamate is about to get added to Armel's Bloodstone. No! They get the Mana Void off. He gets brought down. He thought that AA kill was going to be for free, but he could not be more wrong. He is only dead for 20 seconds or so, so TNC is still able to keep on trying for this. Cuckoo chasing forward, does have a BKB, and his Reaper Scythe getting bounced around on the cogs a little bit. But TNC heading to the pit. Storm going to be respawning about the same time that this goes down. AA buying back. They're going to drop the Abyssal Blade onto the Necrophos' head, but he does have the Ghost Shroud and some stick charges and the BKB. He's surviving. Ice Blast is going to land on him, but tick damage won't be enough to kill him. So TNC...
You can tell...
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go.
I was like, you can definitely tell how intense this match is for both of them. I mean, this game kind of can dictate whether if they're gonna go to Kuala Lumpur or not for the major. You know, you can see compared to the Fnatic and TNC match, no matter what happened, whatever team fight it is, they were just constantly tipping each other. In this game, there's no tips, there's no all chat, there's no chat wheel. They're just playing game of Dota, and it's just. I don't know if there's some sort of animosity between these teams or not, because a lot of them are former teammates towards one another. This match is just it means a lot for either one of the team, maybe like who was right and who was wrong. So thinking about that.
I feel like you can just kind of feel the concentration from both teams, right? Like the fact that TNC they get jumped on there by Ohio, and then there's an instant spin, an instant force staff away, an instant like Tim's jumping up onto the cliff. Everybody is completely on knife edge, especially about this Roshan. The last like 6 or 7 minutes of this game have just been both of these two teams dancing around Roche. But yeah, they got DD Jug. And he's got level 3 Omni Slash. This could be really big. Do they have any vision? They don't see up this high ground, but they see the courier going. They're going to spot Yamate. He's going to be able to get his Glimmer Cape off, but he gets auto-attacked down. The Brewmaster popping the Primal Split. They get the Abyssal Blade over onto the Juggernaut. Can they focus him down? Yes, they can. Avatar's combination. They will not get to use that double damage. Ninja Boogie still had 2 seconds to go on the Global Silence. Won't be able to protect him. Raven's jumping forward now. He finds himself a double kill. Armel realizing that this fight is going badly and that they've also lost the Necrophos. He's just going to go and cut waves, pushes in mid, now heading over towards bottom. Also going to make sure that they keep their gem intact, but TNC, Gabby just continues to get destroyed in these team fights. We thought the Abyssal Blade was going to be useful against the Storm, but the Jug is actually really the one struggling.
Yeah, that was good. Very good. Very, very good by Lotac there. And, as the game progresses, we talked about AM is just going to get stronger and stronger, and especially against TNC's lineup, because AM is generally pretty good versus this Juggernaut, pretty damn good versus Storm, and pretty good versus Necro. He's good against all 3 of their cores.
Yeah, he's just got the good matchup. I mean, slightly slower build, but he doesn't need to be 6-slotted to make this work this game.
And I feel if anything, AU should definitely just be hooking Silencer every single fight pre-global. And if he's capable of doing that, I think Lotac is capable of winning just about every team fight. Their BKBs are up now on both Tiny and Brewmaster, so, team fighting for them with this Aegis is going to be much easier now. Actually, this Silencer is becoming more and more, like, you can say, worthless, right? In that sense, just because, you have Manta disjoint the global, you have your 2 BKBs now, And as long as Clock is capable of getting his hook and battery before, then yeah, we're good.
Yeah, they're starting to care about it less and less. Amel, alright, getting close to his Lincolns here. Jug, not going to be trying for Lincolns or anything. Gabby's still just trying to tank up with this Eye of Scotty, but he just keeps on dying. It's just kind of death after death after death for him. Even looking at the way that he's playing here, as the spin runs out, he's already retreating back. And for good reason, Lotac are all missing off the map, looking for a smoke. Brewmaster, who will they find? Cuckoo is pretty close to this cliff, so he can force staff down. And the dire scan is going to reveal that this gank is on its way, so they're just going to switch over to the other side of the map.
Nice illusion rune picked up by Gabby. He's going to be able to push in the lanes. They left the bounty rune on top.
Oh yeah, it's still there. Oh, big zip in. BKB gets popped out by the Brewmaster. He's just going in. Ninja Boogie going to try for the TP out. That does get interrupted. The rest of TNC on the run, looking like everybody should be okay. Tim's TPing out inside the Roshan pit, even TPing bottom, just to continue shoving out these lanes a little bit more. And for the time being, it does seem like they're just trying to wait out the Aegis as best as they possibly can, but Raven just continuing to farm.
BKB was worth it. He BKB'd for a silencer, the 10-second BKB. For a silence support silencer kill.
I mean, weren't they trying to go on him?
No. He was running.
Did Ohio go on the silencer first?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
But everyone already kind of got out. It was pretty clear. And then he just Tiny ran in, BKB just tossed him to cancel the team.
Avalanche, Cuckoo trapped. Does have the BKB. Pops that. Needs to get a little bit further away. He's also used the Ghost Shroud already. But Chuan is chasing him. Just gonna lob the tree in his direction, and that's a finish on that kill. Armel needing to be careful. Raven, okay, they get the hook back, now into the cogs, Mana Void to pop. They don't have the mana for the Abyssal Blade, though. Ooh, he's
Wow, unfortunate. That was, the thought process was there by Raven, but unfortunately, his 700 mana pool isn't gonna cut it. I like this Aghanim's pickup on AM. It just makes it so Storm can't really jump on him with his, if he ever goes Hex, or Orchid, or can't even use Pull on him because he'll pull himself. I think if he uses Pull on himself with Lincolns on, it just breaks his Lincolns, right? Pretty sure that's how it works.
Yes. Yeah. It's like it's as if AM is casting it on.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's how it works too.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah, I like this. I like this Ags pickup. I'm gonna respect it.
There isn't anything weird like AM gets the Ags version of the spell, does he? Like he doesn't.
No. It's just, definitely, that'd be sick. But...
get the jump in. Storm tries to pull you. You get the AOE pull. Oh,
that'd be too broken, man.
Yeah.
There's certain scenarios, certain matchups are ready when you have all these single targets. Aghanims is really broken on AM. But...
Yeah. And it's, I mean, even just against the, they don't have that many ways to break it. And then like the Omni Slash and the Reaper's Scythe, it basically just makes him completely immune to those spells. So.
Here's how that works. If like grip is used on him, can he cancel it, or do they grip him back? I don't know. This is too much to think about. It's too late. It's so late for me, man.
Oh yeah. What time is it over there?
So it's 1 AM.
Oh okay. Oop.
Not so late, but it's late.
Tim's sees Ohio. Ohio sees Tim's. Neither one of them gonna go on anything. Aegis is still up for another 22 seconds. TNC. What are they looking for here? How's Armel's Bloodstone charges going? Down to 10. Does finally have his Lincolns and finds himself a regen. Alright, gonna snag that quickly. Both teams just rushing for some bounty runes. Still basically nothing in it in terms of net worth. The tension for both of these teams is super palpable. Like, Lotac probably knowing that they're ahead, they're in a good situation, but do not want to give this game away. They've only got this opportunity. And TNC, they would love to just close this one out without having to take it to a third game. They've still.
I'm glad Gabby opted for not going for that Scotty. That Basher Blink pickup is 10 times better than what he wanted to do. That Scotty would just make things worse for him because AM will burn more mana and just get his ulti off him on him because he doesn't even have a Lincoln or BKB. So this is now he can just be able to jump in ulti or right and kind of man fight this AM in a sense because they both have bashes now. So go with RNG here. Butterfly is opting for his last item.
even more RNG. But yeah, we haven't seen an Omni Slash for a little while, right? That last fight was supposed to be big Omni Slash with double damage, like killing 2 or 3 heroes potentially, and it just feels like in all of these fights, Gabby is getting Abyssal Bladed and just focused down. So we'll see how it goes. Raven is going for a Scotty here on his anti-mage. Not interested in a BKB.
So depressing, just his right clicks, and you know how you're used to seeing AM flash farm all these jungle creeps, all these waves, and it's just like it just takes him like 10 hits per wave or per like camp.
They're feeding him the tomes at this point to try and get to his level 25 a little bit faster.
I wonder which one he's gonna get. The spell shield's really good, but the mana void is really also good too. I'm pretty sure he'll get the spell shield because Necro can basically never ulti him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the most likely. He's only really going to be like mono voiding the storm. It feels like doesn't need to for that.
His magic resist right now is already at 65%. It's pretty high.
But Lotac, how's everybody else going? So we got Brewmaster now has level 21, so getting closer to that level 25, but not quite. Ohio's just going to be going for a Shiva's Guard. And everybody's seemingly content to just kind of farm up for a little bit. Roshan, potential respawn in 45 seconds. And TNC just trying to finish up a couple more items, it looks like. Oh, they spot Ninja Boogie in the trees. Ohio popping a BKB just for this one. Ninja Boogie going to get forced out a little bit further away. Can they actually finish him off? Raven there at the last second to finish that kill, and they've actually managed to catch the Necrophos as well. He came in trying to save a buddy. Cuckoo's going to pop the BKB and try and run this one out, but he already used the Force Staff earlier, so Raven just jumps in, bashes him down, double kill quickly. They could have just left Boogie for dead, but Cuckoo kind of suffering from save a friend syndrome a bit.
That's like the worst feeling ever, you know, when Necro has to be forced to get a BKB. It's because it makes his Ghost Shroud completely useless. You're unable to use it because of it, and there's no synergy. Look at his builds. He has to go BKB, Aeon Disc, and Hooded Defiance, and it's just like conflicting one another, you know.
Yeah. We said this during the draft, right? That this is just a miserable Necrophos game. Like they've really made his life hard, and all of its itemization kind of reflects that. Well,
he shouldn't have had a game, which he did. They played it wrong, and he had a game, but now it's coming to this mid game where it's just, hey, I'm a Necrophos against this kind of lineup, and my game is just automatically hard, you know. So, I don't know what he's gonna get next. I don't know what item really. Maybe a Hex. I think a Sheep Stick would be pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I think he had one. I thought I saw him with one queued up a little bit earlier, but I guess decided that he wanted the Aeon Disc at the end of the day. Armel now has a Shiva's Guard. Alright, so a little bit of armor going to be helpful. This is tough. If they can control the Anti-Mage even a little bit, I feel like TNC do have the damage to kill him. And if not for the Anti-Mage, then this Storm Spirit is going to go ballistic. Like, if Armel sees the Anti-Mage die first in a fight, I feel like he can single-handedly kind of clean up the rest of that fight, so...
Actually, I don't see them killing AM anymore. He finished Scotty. He has 3,000 HP.
Yeah.
He's almost 25. He's going to get his spell shield as well. So, I really don't see how they're going to kill him anymore.
Alright. TNC smoking down. Lotac
Butterfly
just
is
holding
finished
the high
up
ground
on
here.
Gabby.
Yeah. It feels like
It's a pretty big item.
Yeah, they have to, like, full Scythe, Omni Slash, chain stun him, right? Like, almost the whole Omni Slash has to go on the Anti-Mage here.
Yeah, but the Aghanim is
Tiny. Alright, can they finally get the Omni Slash off? This time around, they will manage it. They scythe him down, but he's got a buyback available, and they're right here on top of the shrine. The Clockwork also trapped inside of his own cogs. He's now dead. They're looking for more. Armel jumping over towards Yamate. He's going to be out of the Glimmer Cape soon. Lotac using all of these buybacks, multiple tosses onto Gabby, bringing him down. Where is Raven in this fight? He's jumping forward. He hasn't used the Abyssal Blade yet. They're going to wait for the Necrophos, force out his Aeon Disc first, then look to lock him down and finish him off. They don't even need to Abyssal Blade him, it looks like. Just have some more tosses. He's full mana, so the Mana Void not really doing all that much, but Raven beyond godlike. And that was a quick turnaround. That was just all three of the heroes that they killed on Lotac just instantly bought back and TP'd right on top of that shrine.
And now Roshan.
Yep, Aegis and Cheese. Yeah, Raven looking... He did go for the Mana Void cooldown. He doesn't have the spell shield, so... Still kind of susceptible to...
Yeah, I like it. I mean, he has a lot of mana for it. 20-second cooldown Mana Void.
Yeah.
And the fact that he'll be able to just honestly almost always blink into the storm, use their Mana Void into Abyssal. So I can see why he did that.
What do you think he goes for next? Just Butterfly the next pickup?
Yeah, Butterfly for sure.
Armel. Alright, they pop his Lincolns, but doesn't quite get the Abyssal Blade
too
off.
far there.
Yeah, Armel zip zapping out. Still not going to be fun pushing into this level 25 Storm Spirit. He can keep the lanes outside of the base pretty well.
No, that wouldn't. Maybe that would have been a kill actually if you got the Abyssal off with the Manta.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he would have probably oomed him. It would have at least forced him to use the Bloodstone Suicide.
Or maybe like 300, 400 mana still, and he can just blink to catch up to him. Because he has a Scotty too, so don't forget that. Scotty into Basher, so you can chase him down.
Thank you.
Right. Raven just trying to get some mana regen going. So they actually put the Aegis on the Tiny, and they do have Anti-Mage just sitting on this cheese, which is...
He did use his buyback, so...
That's true. So Raven can't play totally crazy, but still should be able to be the first one into these fights for the most part. Kind of relying on the Clockwork to maybe back him up a little bit. If he gets gone on, just get a hookshot Gabby. Ooh. Breaks that smoke, immediate spin, immediate blink away, jump forward from Armel. They are going to get Yamate, it looks like. He gets pushed back by the cogs a little bit, now getting hooked as well. Global Silence getting popped. What can they actually find? Armel trying to decide on these kills, jumping a little bit further away. Ohio goes for the Primal Split. They're looking towards Cuckoo, trying to Force Staff him away. TNC with the team play. They have another Force Staff. They're continuing to kite. Gabby's trapped over in these trees. He's already used the Omnislash. She's trying to find an escape. Raven looking for the Mana Void. They jump in. AU still trying to chase Gabby, who's gone down. The rest of the team has gone up. This fight is going absolutely crazy. Armel finds the secondary support. They're still trying to chase Gabby. Lotac are just kind of getting kited. Raven's trying to finish this kill, but now Ohio's the next one on the chopping block. Armel needing to be a little bit careful. His Lincolns is on cooldown. They will be able to scythe down Ohio. And somehow, TNC just kite that fight and take a 3-for-0.
What happened?
What happens?
I thought Lotac was winning that. I see a Jug using ulti, which was bouncing around the Brewmaster and Clock, which probably did only 10% damage to the both of them. And then I don't know, they were just.
I should have clicked the fight recap. I should have. It felt like the Anti-Mage tried to Mana Void the Necro, but he wasn't even that low on mana. And then like Armel, once he saw that Mana Void go off, he was like, well, okay, time for me to just go kill some supports. They waited out the Brewmaster Primal Split, which didn't really do anything damage-wise. Now Tiny's getting jumped at mid lane. Armel looking for this kill. It's not easy, and it would have just been the Aegis pop as well, but. Armel everywhere, and now he's got a regen rune.
1 second.
Yeah, no problem at all. Alright, TNC going for a push now. This tier 3 tower was taken out a little bit earlier. They don't have the global for 27 seconds. They do have an Echo Slam. Omnislash in 5. Ice Blast coming in. Raven thinking about the initiation. Who have they got? They get onto the Jug, but he gets the spin off first. They've got mass tosses onto Armel, but they didn't focus the same target. Raven wanted Gabby, and Chuan wanted the Storm Spirit, so instead they just get neither of them. Ranged Drax almost dead. One more touch is going to do it, and Bounty Rune's going to come and spawn up, so TNC back themselves up to go and grab that. Armel continues the Rune Luck, just had a regen, now he finds himself an Arcane, and he's got another 6.8k gold on top of all of this, so BKB, Hex, whatever his heart desires. He's actually going to just be going for the Bloodthorn. Alright, well, we thought that Anti-Mage was looking pretty tanky, but if they land that Bloodthorn on him, it's not going to be so easy. TNC, like, I don't know, it feels like we've turned a corner a little bit after that last fight. I'm not sure how they kited the Anti-Mage as well as they did, but Raven just couldn't seem to kill anybody. Welcome back.
Oh, Storm finished off his Bloodthorn as well. I don't know if he had that before.
And now he just bought that just now. He had like 6 point something K gold. So
Cuckoo opting for this heart as well. I kind of like it. He just wants to be. I mean, he doesn't care. He's just gonna be their frontliner. Just over time with the heart stopper aura, and it's gonna be harder to kill him. I think that's what he's kind of looking for right now. This is 25. Yeah, and then his 25, another 0.8 heart stopper aura. That's pretty insane. 3.1.
yeah, that's more than a level. In that, so 0.6 per point. So yeah, if he just survives, he's going to be doing pretty big damage. And Lotac, it's starting to feel like it's actually just the anti-mage who can kind of kill anybody, right? We're getting to the point where the primal split is just more of a control thing than anything. Maybe it can kill a support, but these cores are definitely not that worried about it. The Tiny does good damage, but does seem to be struggling to just catch up to people in these fights.
And Raven's actually closing up to buying his butterfly and his buyback soon. I think he needs another 700 gold or so.
Invisibility.
TNC are just shoving these lanes towards his base. Like.
Yeah. Tiny's buyback in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This game is just honestly, I'd say it's dead even here. Yeah, and it's just how they're really gonna take these fights, you know.
Yeah, I think Lotac really wished they had like another big AoE disable. Oh, Tiny quickly clears the wave, blinks away. He's gonna be okay. Roshan still can't be up for another minute and 45. Armel's thinking about jumping forward here. They do manage to catch onto the Brewmaster. They force out his BKB. I think that was all Armel wanted there. He didn't even really give any thought to trying to kill him. But now with the BKB on cooldown, that gives them more of an opportunity to try and make a play. That is a 50-second CD. And they have everything up. What's the buyback sitch? So a couple of big buybacks, but a few cores missing it. Tiny just about to get his. Yeah, Tiny's got his. Yeah, Jug very, very close. So Jug also has the Abyssal Blade now. So
wow.
More control options for this anti-mage. They just have to make sure that they pop the Aghanim Scepter. Raven actually kind of struggling for mana regen a little bit. Just doesn't really have any, doesn't have the usual Battle Fury. Oh, Storm jumps in, finishes off the ranged Rax, jumps out. It was a pretty brave play from Armel, but...
Butterfly now finished up on Raven as well. Pretty big pickup for him.
Bloodthorn will help out against that a little bit, but... yeah, he's got a Manta and stuff to be able to deal with it. Do you think does he get BKB last item? What's the 6 slot for anti-mage? Of course, you can still buy a Moon Shard and stuff as well.
I guess for his treads, I don't know. Maybe Mjolnir or Battle Fury.
Just for the lane control. Looks like we might have a team fight coming up. TNC a little bit split. Some heroes on the high ground, some heroes on the low ground. Cuckoo in the front lines. Feeling pretty tanky. They're going to jump in. Ninja Boogie does manage to force Staff down. Can they get the Global Silence out? Yes, they can. That's going to prevent the Primal Split for a little bit. They are tossing the Earthshaker around Tim's. What can he actually get off? Does drop the Echo now, but the Tiny was still BKB'd, but not for long enough. Now he's scythed down. Armel jumping back in with the Arcane Rune. I think he heard the Mana Void going. It was already used, so he's still just looking to continue fighting with his Arcane Rune. Gabby used the Omni Slash, but it's not doing enough. He's now dead. Raven looking like he's finding his stride in this fight. They've got the mass toss combos onto the Storm Spirit. They bring him down. Raven's looking for more. Lotac, this is their opportunity. Cuckoo juking for all he's worth, but now he's trapped inside of the trees. Raven also latching onto him. Beyond godlike. Double kill. This is more like it. Raven with the carry hero, with the good matchups. Winning the game for his team. Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard waiting. TNC do have buybacks, but looks like they're just gonna sit this out.
That's Refresher as well. Yeah. AM just used the cheese. Who cares, man?
Not a great team fight. That was the team fight positioning for TNC. I think was a little bit awkward. Like cores all on the low ground, supports on the high ground. Tim's getting caught.
Lotac definitely did have the high ground advantage there, and they have some really beefy cores right now too. I mean, Tiny and AM are definitely not easy to kill, and likewise with their Brewmaster. Yeah, I mean, they just need to focus with Jug ulti and Necro ulti on one person. Just burst them down. And it's really hard to focus his AM. With just his Aghanims and just 3000 HP.
Alright, buyback from the Necro. Storm coming in. Clear out the wave. Does need to be a little bit careful. So, still a lot of buybacks in this game. It's not over just yet. Cuckoo standing strong on the front lines. Tiny comes up, wants a couple of slaps. It's only going to take him 4 hits to bring down that tower. Alright, they get a tier 3. Now they can take the shrines. Still very, very close on the net worth and the experience. Brewmaster does have the refresher shard, but I mean, he's also got the level 25 talent, so it's only a 35-second cooldown on the primal split anyway.
Game in terms of net worth is just dead even, but I feel Lotac just has this game here.
It's weird, right? Because there's actually just so much current gold on some of these heroes. Like, Armel has 9.3k gold, and Raven has 8.3k. Like,
Moonshard yet?
No, not yet. Yeah, you should probably pick it up. You could just buy another item though, right? You can swap out these treads. Yeah, I think I like the BKB here.
Yeah, I like it more than this Moonshard. I think Moonshard's kind of greedy, right? BKB, you could just kind of blink in if you get global BKB out, and then Manta top. So you don't want to use the Manta.
TNC outside of the base. Gabby tossed once. He's going to be able to get the spin off. They force staff him a little bit further away, but they are forcing out the global silence from that. And now they're on the run. Cuckoo gets a tree tossed at him, but that's about it. He does need to be careful. He's the one dire core that did buy back recently.
The thing I'm just looking at is I don't understand how TNC is really going to start off a fight unless they get some crazy echo off. And he doesn't have buyback. No buyback on Cuckoo, and Jug and Storm are they're important ones that do have buyback.
Cuckoo, okay, he's playing gatekeeper, but I don't know. Maybe they have to like stick the Necrophos out there and hope that he gets initiated on, and then wait for Lotac to kind of clump up a little bit and go for it that way. Ohio's jumping in with the Shivas. He's going to get Abyssal Bladed, but he's got his BKB up. He's going to be okay. Nice cogs from AU. The BKB's coming through. Raven finds the target onto Cuckoo, but that's just the Aeon just popped into the backlines. Chuan goes. He's looking for the kill on the sound, so they do manage to get it. They're also trying to kill off this Earthshaker. He's dead for 90 seconds. Tim's not really doing anything in this fight. Now they lose the Necrophos. Omnislash bouncing through, but it's just getting soaked up by the Pandas. And Storm Spirit getting bashed, pushed back by the cogs, lifted up by the toss. There is going to be a buyback for Armel, but it's looking like Lotac should be able to take this game. Raven finishing off one last kill. Armel jumping through, but they just don't care at all about the remnants. And Raven, realizing the situation, is just going to go straight onto the tier 4s. TNC, they've got 2 cores alive. They buy up a refresher orb on the Juggernaut, but I don't know if one more Omnislash is really going to matter. They are going to give it a try. Armel jumping in, continuing to harass. Gabby now coming through. There's the Omnislash, but what damage? They've got a Vlad's, they've got an AC. It's just really not enough. Armel still doing everything that he can, but they're focusing onto the Ancient. Raven throws out one more Mana Void. They kill off Gabby for one final time, and Armel has a little bit of mana to get back into the fountain, but Lotac content to close this game out, and they are going to breathe a sigh of relief as they push this series out to game number 3.
Wow, that was some intense game for sure. You know, very back and forth. Some of the team fights where we thought Lotac would win, TNC ended up winning. The fights we thought TNC would win, Lotac ended up winning. These fights, like I said, they were just insanely chaotic and just wow. I mean, I'd say overall a good comeback from Lotac, right? They were kind of falling apart, but you know, we knew as the game continues to progress, you know, this anti-mage is gonna become out of control, and he became unkillable. It was so hard to touch him, and I don't know. That's
and I think the builds from Raven as well. Kind of want to shout that out. I think the Vanguard helped a lot. He ended the game with only 2 deaths. They were both Reaper Sight deaths, and they were pretty nicely orchestrated ganks from TNC, but I think it was better for him to farm slowly and not die than for him to try and go for the Battle Fury and then just get like picked off a whole bunch. So
I think what happened was Gabby kind of missed his timing as well. Like Jug was just his early deaths at the beginning kind of hurt him a lot, hindered his farm, hindered his movements, and he played passively because of it. And then when he was playing too aggressive at the beginning, because of that, he got punished heavily, and the score for him just kind of speaks for itself. It's just he had a really rough game, and I felt if Jug was just if he snowballed a bit earlier during the mid transitioning into the late game, like it would have been much easier. Roche potential would have been easier, but instead it's just it's just you got to give it to Lotac. They played it very well, and they made some crucial mistakes at the beginning. Like I was talking about, this Clockwork was too busy chasing a Storm around, and him and AA could have snowballed and got their fast 10 by killing bottom lane over and over again and playing together, roaming mid, smoking mid, whatever it may be. But fortunately, things still ended up working out for them. And if they can work out these early game kinks, because similar to game 1, right? They struggled with their early to mid game kind of decision making, but their late game decisions seemed pretty fine. And if they can pull this in game 3, then they'd be the next ones to go to Kuala Lumpur, even though half the team is already there.
Yeah, not very far to travel for them. But I'm super interested to see where this series goes. I feel like TNC reasonably happy with their draft. Lotac seem to be pulling out these, like, seeing the Clockwork and the Ancient Apparition. That's not something that you expect in the current meta. Those are not really heroes at all. And I mean, I would say even like 4 out of 5 heroes in this draft are a little bit off-brand. Like the Brewmaster, we don't see a ton. The Anti-Mage, kind of a little bit of a surprise. I'd be interested to see who wins the flip for game 3 as well, because I feel like it's really important that they can get Raven this super late pick that just kind of has all of the good matchups on the carry position and just kind of hand him the game past a certain point. I really don't want to see him on Tiny again. I feel like that's just kind of a mismatch for what seems to be working for the team right now.
Unfortunately, I'd love to join you for game 3, but I was like falling asleep.
Too tired?
My chair, dude. Yeah, I was
That's okay.
I don't know if you can tell my voice has been deteriorating towards the end of the game as well. Yeah. So
that's all right. Thanks so much for joining me, Jimmy. It was great. Appreciate it. Yeah. Any final words? People come follow your stream or anything? What are you up to?
Sure, man. Just follow my Twitter and my stream at Dota Demon.
All right.
Thanks for having me, though, and
great.
Enjoy game 3, man.
For sure.
It's as hyped.
Okay, so it was a pleasure. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be back in just a couple of minutes for Lotac versus TNC Predator. We'll see which of these two teams punches their ticket to the Kuala Lumpur Major in just a couple of minutes. As you can see, lobby's already back up. Players getting back in. I don't know why the admin is in one of the player slots, but I'm sure we'll sort that out. And we'll be back with some more exciting Dota action in just a couple of minutes.
Check it. Yo.
Welcome back, everyone. It all comes down to this. I mean, there's still one more game, but the grand finals or whatever. This is where the action happens. TNC Predator versus Lotac, game number 3. I don't have a co-caster anymore, but sleep well, Jimmy. I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you all for joining me here. I hope you're enjoying all of the coverage, and we're about to find out our second team heading from SEA to the Kuala Lumpur Major. As Demon pointed out, not very far of a trip for a couple of the players in this game, but alright, we've got the Phantom Lancer, we've got the Undying, and we've got the Tiny banned out this time around. TNC not wanting to play against the Tiny. The Silencer makes it through. What else have these two teams been banning recently? What was banned in the last round? Okay, so Silencer's still going to be picked. Will Lotac go for the Clockwork again? Tree and Protector making it through. So we could see that Tree Phoenix combination, though Phoenix a little bit dicey to play against the Silencer in some situations. And Lotac sticking to their guns in terms of the bans 100%. So the only change up is Tree not banned and Tiny is banned. And we'll just have to see how this draft goes. What else have Lotac even been first phasing? Let's have a looky here. So they first phased the Tree Phoenix. They picked a there's some bug games in here. So Tree Weaver, Spectre Undying, Tiny Phoenix, Phantom Lancer, Earthshaker. The Shaker is still in the pool. I don't know if they necessarily want to play that against the Silencer, and they've already picked the Clockwork for themselves, kind of for that position 4, position 5. You can think about it as the melee support, however you want to categorize it. But Lotac, all right. Are they going to take a core early? Who actually won the flip? Did we? I don't know if I can actually go back and check. I don't think I have that option available to me. No, unfortunately. All right, won't be able to go back and check the flip. I think it would have been. No, maybe did TNC take Radiant and then Lotac took second pick, so now they have last pick? Is that the plan? No, they're just. I thought they might try and last pick a Raven hero, but they are just gonna first phase it straight up. Spectre coming in. TNC, what is their answer going to be? Are they gonna pick the Terrorblade in this position? That has been a pretty popular answer back to the Spectre, so we are going to be seeing a little bit more of this. Does feel like people are starting to. I don't think that this meta is figured out because we keep seeing all of these interesting picks coming in, but as far as some of the carry dynamics and these early stages of the draft, it does feel a little bit more resolved, though I don't know if TNC are going to make the mistake of picking so many heroes that were weak against the Clockwork this game. The Necrophos is still in the pool. I'm interested to see if either team considers banning that, if they think it's enough of a problem. The Brewmaster is going to be banned out. Ohio still has that Centaur to look at here, though I don't know if that's what he's going to end up playing. That's what he's going to end up playing in the off lane. What else wouldn't be bad to lane against the Terrorblade? The Phoenix is alright, but then again, there's the Silencer, so you can't really get the dive away reliably because of the last word. And Lotac, even with the Clockwork, still going to decide that it is worth banning out the Necrophos. In terms of good answers to Terrorblade from the support position, there's still stuff like Lion. They could pick a Jakiro if they wanted to, though Clockwork Jakiro is probably inviting TNC to pick an extremely mobile mid-hero again for Armel and just make life miserable. The one little bit of bonus value that Lotac are also kind of getting here out of the Spectre pick is that I don't think we'll see TNC picking the Tinker. So that's worth looking at. And TNC not banning Zeus at all. That could actually be an interesting offlane for Ohio in this situation. I don't know if he's much of a Zeus player. It doesn't necessarily fit his mold in terms of how he likes to play the offlane, but it is certainly a good hero against Terrorblade, pretty good with the Spectre, you know, pretty classic pub strat, but could be something that we look at here for Lotac moving forward. There's still also like an Ember in the pool. Ursa just going to be banned out. So TNC, yeah, I'm very interested to see what Cuckoo ends up playing here. I don't know what his hero pool has really been looking like, and Lotac do just take the Centaur Warrunner early on here. Their damage output in the early game is a little bit lacking. They've picked triple melee so far. I would not be at all opposed to seeing something like a maybe an Enigma from TNC. I think that could be pretty good. I'm not sure how much of an Enigma player Cuckoo is, but I think it would be alright at putting pressure onto the Spectre. And when you've got this many melee heroes, it's just so hard to play against Black Hole. I mean, they do have a potential cancel in the hook shot, but it's just not super reliable. And the AoE damage from the Midnight Pulse, I think, would be super useful against the Spectre and the Centaur. Spectre and Centaur. We've got Dark Willow now grabbed, so that's going to end up being the position 4 for TNC. They're just fishing for a little bit more information here. Lotac, unlikely to show them another core, though. Probably just going to pick up an additional support. They probably have enough lockdown for the Centaur to go for something a little bit greedier in the 4 or 5. I don't know exactly what form that would end up taking. We've seen some Bane in this competition. The Crystal Maiden could actually be okay here. It's a little bit annoying for the Terrorblade to play against, or at least has some decent AoE potential against those illusions, but what else for Lotac? I don't think they're going to run Zeus mid. I was only really thinking about Zeus as the offlaner. If they wanted Lina for mid lane, I think they might have to take that now. But no, okay. How did I not remember Winter Wyvern? We've been seeing this hero this entire qualifier, and they do actually manage to get it through in the 4th position. Damage still a little bit lacking on the whole for the Lotac lineup, at least in the early stages, but I do think that that last pick is kind of going to turn things around a little bit.
10 seconds remaining.
So, alright, TNC probably just pick the Cuckoo hero, leaving the Armel hero until a little bit later on. Okay, so it is just going to end up being Wraith King. I don't think that this hero is very good anymore, but I guess they just wanted some kind of initiating stun from their offlane. And the Wraith King Dark Willow is certainly a reasonable combo, though much weaker than it was during TI, since both of these heroes have been nerfed. So a little bit less damage across the board. Wraith King a lot less disable. Should still be able to find the combos with the Bramble Maze and whatnot. But alright, Lotac are going to be forced to ban out the Storm Spirit here. They are a little bit vulnerable to super mobile heroes, though I think they have just enough lockdown to deal with something like the Storm Spirit coming in. And I would imagine that TNC probably just ban Invoker or the Lina in this spot. They could try and leave the Lina up and then maybe take Invoker for themselves. I am not sure to what extent Armel is an Invoker player, but I'm sure he's a capable player. He is a mid lane player after all, and most mid lane players are Invoker players when it really comes down to it. But TNC do have some time to consider this ban. I don't know if Lotac's greed is finally going to get the better of them in this game. Trying to create space for the Spectre to farm, the Centaur. I think TNC's heroes do have enough damage to actually kill the Centaur a couple of different times in the laning stage. So I don't think this is going to be the same as some of the Centaur games that we saw from Ohio against Team Admiral, where he was laning against the Marana or whatnot. I think this might be a little bit different. You know, if the Willow rotates over and he gets Curse Crowned and then Terrorblade pops Metamorphosis, I think he just straight up dies. But TNC really taking their time on this this last ban. Looks like they're just not 100% sure. We're just trying to think through all the possible combinations of we ban this, you ban that. Alright, they just banned the Broodmother in the end, so there's a TA, there's a Lina, there's an Invoker. There's plenty of good mid lane heroes left, and TNC just gonna go for the Huskar again. Alright, They worked in game number 1. This is a pretty scary Tricore. Unfortunately, they're not getting the lifesteal for either the Huskar or the Terrorblade with those recent Wraith King nerfs, but still, I suppose Armel is asking for it. He's feeling kind of confident. Huskar does start to struggle a little bit later on against the Spectre. Once she gets her Manta Style and whatnot, the pure damage from the Desolate actually just shreds Huskar, so I think TNC very much looking at this as they need to kind of snowball the early game, secure themselves an early Roshan, and just kind of shut this game out before the Spectre even has too much of a chance to come online. I've seen teams try and play a Tricore into the Spectre late game, and you know the thought process is probably, well, they've got Centaur, he's not really a big damage scaling core, so maybe we can try and take on the Spectre in the late game as a result. I would imagine that Lotac are just picking Lina here. I don't think you pick Invoker. Is there anything else worth considering? Can they pick something like Sniper? Is that even good against Huskar? I'm not even sure. I think Huskar just skills Burning Spears and just runs at you, and you can't really do anything. So it's going to depend on what Chuan's comfort pick is against the Huskar. They don't have very long. We've seen this a couple of different times, and Lotac go for Tinker. Tinker, Spectre, Centaur. This is unbelievably greedy. They're going to try and beat TNC at their own game, but why are they picking Tinker into Silencer, Dark Willow, and the Huskar? I mean, it is a pretty good matchup against the Terrorblade. All of TNC's cores are right-clicking cores, so if he gets the time to farm his BOT, Blink, Aether Lens, Aghanim Scepter, then sure. Then he's looking good, and they will be able to kind of delay this game a little bit, but I don't know. Is the Winter Wyvern Clockwork D-push going to be enough? And this, I feel like this entire game now hinges on the Ohio Centaur Warrunner. Like, if he gets shut down in lane and he doesn't get his blink, their lineup just does nothing. Like, they can kind of Winter's Curse, Stampede in, Stomp. They still have some other ways to get kills, but I think it is absolutely essential this game that the Centaur Warrunner finds some farm, because otherwise I don't know what plays they're going to be making. It's a Spectre and a Tinker. They're not going to rotate. They're not going to gank. They're relying on other heroes to set them up so that they can come, realitying or teleporting in to finish the kills. This is very brave from Lotac, and this is the elimination game. They lose this one, they're going to have to set their sights on the minor. TNC, both teams very much looking forward to that major in Kuala Lumpur. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm really interested to see what's going to happen in the grand finals. I think it's going to be played. I don't imagine that either team, Fnatic or TNC, is going to forfeit, but how seriously will they be playing? Well, that remains to be seen. Would I love to see another super serious best of 3 between TNC and Fnatic? Of course I would. Of course I would. But I'm just being a little bit realistic here about the chances. It could be important. I'm not sure. I don't think the group stage format has been announced by PGL for the Kuala Lumpur Major, so like, it could be pretty important, especially if it's just going to be 4 seeded groups. Like, then being number 1 seed versus number 2 could be pretty important. But is it actually Ohio's birthday? Or is Ohio complaining about what's going on here? These teams are all reasonably friendly, but like Demon was pointing out in the previous game, you can also feel the tension. You can feel the hunger. Both of these teams, they want that major spot. They want to be joining Fnatic. Want to be joining all of our SA and China and wait, what other regions are done? SA, China, CIS, NA I think is pretty much close to wrapping up. NA and EU probably still have a few more games, but EU has 3 spots, right? So I think all of their qualification might already be done, other than 1. Anyway, let's focus on this game. I'm getting a little bit distracted. Clockwork comes in. He does manage to secure this bounty rune away from TNC, so AU, nice little play, but TNC still grabbing both of the bounties up top. Tim's starting with a Blightstone for a little bit more harassment. We'll see how much Yamate is really going to be able to do. He's already skilled the Splinter Blast, interestingly enough. Not going to be starting with the Arctic Burn. That's a little bit weird. Both mid-heroes do have the little bit of additional vision. Silence already grabbing 2 Cog last hits there. Terrorblade even grabbing 1 for himself, so tiny bit of gold going TNC's way. And Armel is already skilling up the Burning Spears here at level 1. Tron gets a nice little lucky uphill miss, tries for another one, doesn't get it. Doing everything that he can on this mid lane. Still not going to be a super easy matchup for him. Once the Huskar gets level 6, he does kind of have reasonable kill threat. Like, I'm pretty sure you can just purge off the laser with life break, right? So if he ever lasers you in an awkward spot and he's within range, you can just jump him and kill him. And Ohio, alright, the lane is being controlled reasonably well by Gabby, but AU has managed to go for another little creep steal. Our team's gonna start dealing with this. Like, are we gonna start seeing more Bane? If you nightmare somebody, it does de-aggro. So that could be something. Tim's putting in a ton of work with this Blightstone, but so far on the mid lane, things looking alright for Tron. Still just trying to secure a couple more CS. He is burning pretty much the entire time, but he brought extra regen. He's got a Fairy Fire, he's got a Healing Salve, and he's got some Tangos, so looks like he kind of knows how this matchup works. And he did seemingly ask for the Tinker pick into this. Cuckoo just needs to find a little opportunity to salve. Raven's still getting pressured, but still tons of regen in his inventory. And Cog push back from AU at bottom, but Gabby still has his entire mana pool, so it looks like he's managed to avoid all of those Cog burns so far. And Clockwork does not really feel like he's contributing all that much down here. I don't know. We'll see how the Clockwork goes against the Silencer a little bit later on. Raven getting plinked down by Tims. Needs to be careful not to get his salve cancelled. Oh, they're looking for this kill though. Raven, they're trying to force it out of him. Can he get the vision? He has managed to juke him, and looks like Yamate wants this kill. 4 seconds to go on the Arctic Burn. Raven has the Spectral Dagger, but Tims with some stick charges. Just already munching on a Tango. Cuckoo's running forward. Not helping just yet, though. Yamate almost finishing this kill. One more auto attack would do it, but alright. Tim survives. I can see why he wanted to go for that Spectre kill, but Raven now back up to full HP, and Raven is going to be going for a Vanguard this game on his Spectre, so it feels like the most common build we've been seeing in the last couple of days has been just the Manta Rush into Diffusal, but maybe a little bit more of an old school Vanguard Radiance for the Spectre here. And Ohio continuing, no matter who he's up against on this Centaur, seems to be doing just fine in terms of farm. I guess they don't really have a ton of kill potential on this lane. Metamorphosis getting popped. Ohio slowed down by the Reflection and the Arcane Curse, but he's going to be okay. Clockwork not getting involved. Mid lane, we've already got some March of the Machines being laid down by the Tinker, but Armel actually already starting to win this matchup. 16-10. Just picking up a Soul Ring early on, so keeping the Inner Vitality spam going. Doesn't have the Crystal Maiden on his team this time around, so opting for the Mana Regen item. Oh, they want Ohio again. Another Reflection slowdown, couple more auto attacks. Can they finish it? Yes, they do. Gabby with that last Metamorphosis touch does manage to find the first blood onto Ohio. Still farming okay, but looking like it might not be as free of a Centaur game as we've seen him have up until this point. AU is still just stealing creep waves. Dragging this one back. Nice double range creep. Needs to bring it up the cliff. Alright, he does do so. And mid lane, Armel continuing to pull ahead of this Tinker. That level 6 is coming up soon. That's where things are going to get pretty scary for Chuan. Ninja Boogie a long way up here. AU spots him, but Boogie already has his boots, so can't run him down with the battery assault or anything. And I think that's the first time that Gabby has been mana burned here on this bottom lane. 5-minute bounty runes coming up soon, but TNC finding better farm across the map so far. Cuckoo doing okay up top. Only level 3 on Tims, but I think he's going to be okay with that. And Raven does want this rune, but not willing to contest Cuckoo for it. AU does manage to get the cogs down. Another bounce back. Nice secure from him. That is going to end up being 3 bounty runes for Lotac. Ohio still has quite a bit of regen, so should be able to get to his Ring of Health just fine, but... Armel, level 6. What is the skill build going to end up being? Hasn't committed the point just yet. And actually, Spectre dead up top, just getting run down by Cuckoo and Tims. Yamate nowhere nearby on this Winter Wyvern, and looks like just a quick combination. 2 points in the Shadow Realm, stun into the Bramble Maze, and Spectre has the Ring of Health, but only 650 HP, so just getting burst down. Now they're turning this around on a Cuckoo, however. He's got a couple of stick charges. Tim's doing his best to help out Cuckoo with another stun, but it's going to take him 3 more seconds to get that, though. We're just going to let him run it off. 6-minute rune coming up. Tinker's going there early, really hoping that this one's going to spawn down here. This is a pretty big loss for him if it doesn't. Okay, well, it gets the double damage. It's a nice grab. And still more creep wave stealing by Clockwork. But Huskar, this lane doesn't really seem to be too much of a counter so far, but I think Tinker's happy that he's getting farm. Maybe it's not so much about the lane as it is just the broader game, making life harder for the Terrorblade to play later on. And Gabby, he's still up there in terms of net worth. TNC feels like, wait, the first 2 games it feels like they lost the lanes. They certainly lost the lanes in game number 2. Game number 1, I gotta remind myself of what even happened. Oh. Yamate, alright, sees Ninja Boogie, but nothing to interrupt his TP, so he just gets this ward down behind the tower. Lots of really aggressive vision around the mid lane. He's just gonna let the Huskar play however he wants, really. He's thinking about going for that dive in, but he also knows that the laser hasn't been used yet, so hanging on to it. Yeah, Lotac also kind of won the lanes in game number 1. They had all of those kills. It was like 22-8 or whatever, but still, this feels like it's the first game where TNC kind of winning the lanes, though maybe I'm just caster cursing them right now. Gabby gets the reflection out, needs to stay away from the Clockwork, but also needs to stay away from Ohio. They get the slowdown from Yamate, and they will burst the Terrorblade. He's gone. Ninja Boogie thinking that there might be a ward back behind the tower, but no, Lotac just going for a pretty aggressive dive, knowing that there wasn't really any turnaround potential from the TNC supports. Cuckoo with a whole bunch of skeletons, 3 points up in the Mortal Strike already. Making quick work of this tier 1 tower, and Tim's dragging it away while a level 5 Spectre is doing his best to jungle. Yeah, this is going to take Raven a little bit. Oh, another scan. They know that Boogie's in here, and looks like it might just be another free kill for Lotac. Boogie's juking them for now. Trying to stay hidden, but Ohio pincers him. And Ninja Boogie also going to end up dropping. But 2 kills, though it's still taking them a very long time to take out this tier 1 tower on the bottom side. And TNC, that little bit of extra funds early is really going to help. Their first couple of items are super impactful. The Armlet on the Huskar, the Blink Dagger on the Wraith King. Terrorblade just going to be going for an early Dragonlance here, and TNC rotating the Terrorblade up here as if they're going to be looking for more. The Stampede gets popped. Boogie again coming down here. He doesn't want to give away this bottom tier 1 tower, but he is going to be giving away his life a bunch of different times. As soon as that Battery Assault catches up to him, Ohio closes the gap. There's the double edge. Cuckoo running forward. Nice Bramble Maze following it up onto Yamate. Going to get sniped down by the Shadow Realm. And TNC, okay, they're gonna keep going with this Metamorphosis. They got some skeletons. This is gonna be an ultra early tier 2 tower. Clockwork at least managed to aggro away the regular creep, but this is half HP on this tower 9 minutes into the game. This is more like the TNC that we are used to seeing. Splitting the aggro around a little bit. Tim's extremely low, but they really want this tower. Oh my word. AU, can he go for the deny? Won't be able to do it, and TNC tier 1 and tier 2 on top lane. Talked about them trying to close this game out before the Spectre even comes online, and it seems like they are on track to do that so far. Spectre and Tinker, nothing that they can really do. Tinker still needs another 2k gold for his Boots of Travel. Ohio running at Ninja Boogie down bottom. Can't get the double edge off because he has been silenced, so... Alright, Ohio just going to go for the TP out. Both teams a little bit light on stuns, so we probably see probably be seeing quite a lot of TPing out going on in this game. And Raven, is he actually completing the Vanguard? Is he just going back for these treads now? Yamate does manage to steal that bounty away from the Wraith King. Lotac just don't feel like they have any playmaking potential. At least they're giving the Clockwork and the Winter Wyvern level 6 up here at top. They definitely need those heroes online to be able to take those upcoming fights, because it feels like TNC are just finding their stride. Even with those 2 towers up, it's only a 1k net worth lead, so it does suggest that Lotac are doing a little bit better in just the creep farm department, since they're hunkering down in their lanes and doing their thing. And Ohio is going to have a pretty timely Blink Dagger, so things are still looking alright for Lotac. We do have a Stampede. Tier 1 tower taken out at mid. TNC not showing any signs of slowing down, though once the Tinker gets his BOTs and his Blink, he will be able to start pushing out these waves that little bit more effectively. There isn't really anybody on TNC who wants to buy a pipe too early on. Gabby trying to keep on farming top, getting pressured, but even if he gets pressured out of the lane, Terrorblade can kind of always find his farm in the jungle, though the Clockwork rotation has something to say about that. AU anticipating to find Terrorblade down. He's still actually over at the tower right now. Town Portal Scrolls are available for pretty much everybody on TNC, so if they go for this kill, things could get dicey, and Clockwork actually going to kind of reveal his position with that Rocket Flare. Terrorblade going to be TPing back to base, suspecting that something is afoot, and he is 100% right. Tier 1 tower does end up dropping bottom. Who got that? No, Wraith King gets the deny. So, continuing to delay this Centaur Blink Dagger just that little bit more. That's like, so him getting the last hit versus it getting denied is like 200 and something gold, right? So a higher would just be that little bit closer. Armel, does he really need a halberd this game? Is there that much of a point in going for it? I don't know what else he gets. He gets BKB at some point, but not yet. Heart? Satanic? What is the item going to end up being? Maybe it's still worth it just to get the Heaven's Halberd, just in case you get Winter's Curse or something. They are going to jump in onto Cuckoo. He's got the ultimate, but there's no tier 1 down here, so looking like it might just be 2 deaths for him. Boogie doing his best to help out. Cuckoo pops a stick charge, is able to keep on running, popping down the skeletons, and Lotac don't find that kill. They're worried about the turnaround coming in now. Tim's is chasing, and Cuckoo's going to be just fine. I mean, TNC did rotate everybody over towards that direction, but nice to keep the Wraith King alive, and they're going to be looking for a follow-up fight, in fact. 3-man smoke around to the backlines, put the Observer Ward down. They come running up onto the high ground. Raven doesn't actually have enough for the dagger, so he's in trouble. They're going to pop the Terrorize. Okay, he finally gets the dagger out. Cuckoo gets the stun onto him. Gabby's looking for him on the low ground. They do manage to finish the Spectre kill. Cuckoo's still not dead yet. Gabby hasn't skilled up the Sunder, so this low HP can't really exploit it, as Tinker also going to get stunned up here. Global Silence used for what? Stop the Tinker, maybe? Maybe we're a little bit worried about some kind of initiation coming in, but Hookshot was still on cooldown. Centaur doesn't have Blink, but Ninja Boogie just being safe, I suppose. Alright, at least the Tinker now has his BOTs, but still a far cry from what he needs this game, and Ohio gonna get jumped on. Cuckoo with the follow-up stun. Armel needs to turn on this armlet. Easy peasy. Ohio trying to grab a few more creeps. Definitely going down. And now a 4k lead in TNC's favor. They want this tier 1 tower bottom, but Tinker not going to make it easy. Playmaking potential still really only coming from the Centaur. So that tower being denied and then also finding that follow-up kill have really slowed down his game. And in the meantime, TNC are just everywhere. Got some deep Radiant Vision over on the dire side of the map. Raven still just trying to farm Tim's. Oh, alright. About to get caught out. Actually just going to go for the solo kill here on the Clockwork. Is the Shadow Realm damage going to be enough? They've got the Tinker coming in, and he'll be the one to grab that. I wonder if that pre-Bedlam and Shadow Realm nerf, I think that would have been a kill. But, actually wait, the Shadow Realm damage is still the same at level 4. Okay, so it's just the... It's probably just the Bedlam damage. And is it the same at level 1? Bedlam is also the same at level 1. Well, it goes to show you what I know. So, never mind. It would not have been a kill pre-nerf. TNC looking for something with this freshly acquired Wraith King Blink Dagger. They spot both of the supports in the river. The Winter's Curse does get thrown out. They jump a bit further forward. Yamate about to get run down by these skeletons. Battle for the bounty runes is actually going to end up being, looks like, 4 bounties for TNC. That's the problem for Lotac. They need this Blink Dagger on the Centaur, but Ohio still doesn't have it yet. This looked like it might be the... I mean, I'm about to caster curse the shit out of this, but it's looking like it might be the most straightforward game for TNC just yet. Tinker is still going to be a spanner in the works. They're giving Chuan a bunch of farm. And Raven, alright, still just going to be going back for the Vanguard, so his item's going to be pretty slow. Huskar is still just going for the Heaven's Halberd. And TNC, more aggressive wards, more scouting. I mean, look at where Tim's is playing. Just playing in front of his Terrorblade, making sure that nobody is ganking up Gabby right now, who is just going for a first item Hurricane Pike. Maybe deciding against the Manta Style. Yamate getting gone on. Alright, there's the Cold Embrace. Saves him a tiny bit of damage. He's just barely alive. Cuckoo wants to finish it with the stun, and he will be able to do so. They even popped a Stampede for that, but didn't do anything. Raven's still just farming bottom all the while, but building up this net worth lead. TNC, alright, now into the Roshan pit. I think the Huskar needs a little bit of help to get this kill. Need someone to kind of tank it for him. And the Rocket Flare is scouting. We got Huskar with a Dragon Lance. Okay, yeah, he's deciding against the Heaven's Halberd. I don't think Halberd really does anything for him this game. So Dragon Lance makes sense. Clockwork hiding in these trees. They do manage to get the stomp over onto the Dark Willow. They're using a lot of initiation to try and find this kill, but they've got the stun onto the Tinker. Looking for him. Haunt coming through. Cuckoo still has the ultimate. Armel retreating back. Only going to end up losing the one support. That is the Blink Dagger reveal from the Centaur. And the Hookshot and the Haunt both used. So TNC probably right back to it. Looking to push things out. Tinker at the very least does have his Blink, so he's able to start cutting these lanes a little bit and continue buying time for Raven. And Gabby has opted to go back for the Manta Style now. Does he... He doesn't have the full... Oh, he almost has the full Pike, actually. Alright, so Pike into Manta. Needs to decide on what his BKB timing exactly is going to end up being. That's going to be a really important decision for him this game. He might just try and line up the BKB timing with the Huskar's BKB timing and then double BKB. Very, very strong. They decided against continuing on that Roche. And the game does seem to be slowing down a little bit now, and you can kind of see it in the graph as well. Lotac, now that the Tinker is actually has his Blink, he's creating space rather than just taking it. Is going for a Kaya here. Personally not a huge fan of this item on Tinker. I feel like it's just a little bit of a waste on Tinker and Zeus. And Cuckoo does get Winter's Cursed at mid. Yamate keeping himself alive at the cost of a reasonably big ultimate. Boogie looking for a little D-ward, but all he's going to find is the Clockwork, who has just enough mana to combo him down here. Tinker is actually going to be the one to secure that kill. They're canceling the Cuckoo Blink. They get the Stomp in onto Gabby. He does have a Sunder, so I think he's going to be okay, but these Clockwork Rockets, annoying for him to press into, and not the Clockwork Rockets, but the Tinker missiles. A little bit annoying. And Wraith King did actually end up losing his Aegis. It got popped. Well, losing his Reincarnation. That is a very... Oh, he was so close to level 12 as well. Cuckoo definitely going to be unhappy about that. He's going to be going for a Blade Mail. And, alright, TNC are deciding to take this last little bit of Metamorphosis and take it over into the Roshan pit. They need to be careful. Lotac seemingly aware of what's going on here. Boogie trying to push out mid lane. Lotac coming in. Roshan low, but not dead just yet. Ohio looking for his chance. He does have the Blink, but the Global Silence is popped, and they get the Brambles down as well. TNC not risking anything as they now catch out the Clockwork on the other side of this fight and focus him down. Nicely timed Global from Ninja Boogie. Not going to give them the opportunity to steal that Roche, and they do end up with it in the hands of the Huskar. So he's looking good. Armel still #1 on net worth. And Raven, how is his farm going? Alright, so he's got the Vanguard. Now still going back for the Yasha. Kind of reminiscent of his anti-mage game. He's just... They're playing 4 Protect 1. Yamate gets a TP out at top. Nicely done by him. but I don't know. Sometimes I doubt, I'm like, oh, well, the Terrorblade can kind of deal with the Spectre later on. But a lot of that is based on the idea that you can actually get the successful Sunder onto the Spectre, and that's not always the case. Armel in a little bit of trouble getting bashed up. Clockwork looks like he is going to end up ticking down. Armel, can he survive the second round? Tinker doesn't really have that much mana left. One more round in the tank. He's going to spam a little bit more, but that battle for the bounty rune gets pretty intense, though only ends up being the Aegis popped. TB still farming. These deep wards from TNC not sticking around for too much longer. They did manage to sneak in here and grab another deep observer. And oh, I thought Tim's might have a little bit more. Looks like he's just working on a Yule Scepter here. Probably Yule's Blink going to be the selection. Yamate picking up his GPM talent, so that's going to get him that little bit closer towards the Aether Lens. And TNC really grouping up a lot in these last few minutes, so trying to apply pressure. I think they really want to find another kill on Raven, but he has been playing behind his team a lot. Though this time around, looking like he might be brought down. They've got the Terrorize. He won't be able to get the Dagger off. He won't be able to get the Haunt off. Chain stunning him. They do get the Stampede. The Curse Crown about to pop, but the Stampede looks like it might be enough distance. Arma wanted to chase a little bit further, but they didn't actually have the big damage dealer in position, so TNC now might get turned around on Armel jumping a little bit further away. AU won't be able to cancel this Tim's TP. So he is out of there. And Lotac. Yeah, just back to farming for them. Net worth has started moving back in the TNC direction again. Gabby. Yeah, it's got to be this double BKB timing for TNC. That's when they... Around that point, that's got to be when they seize kind of full control. I don't know if they'll be able to get a Lane of Rax off of kind of the first few BKB charges, but they really need to make full advantage of the first couple of BKB usages. And they're actually going to spot out the Tinker. Can they get anybody else in here to stop him? The auto attacks from the Terrorblade. He's so low, just barely getting the TP out. Gabby almost finishing him off. And while Tinker heals, the rest of TNC just going to come pushing forward. Looks like it's going to be similar to top. They're going to look for the tier 1 and the tier 2. Nice Arcane Curse. It's going to make life a little bit more annoying for Tinker. Won't immediately be able to start spamming out the marches. And Cuckoo's just waiting for his chance. Sitting in the trees while the Terrorblade sieges the tower. Yeah, Lotac are not set up for this at all. And Spectre still just needs so much farm to come online. Only 6.5k net worth, bottom 5. TNC quickly finishing up the tier 2, extending this net worth lead closer and closer towards 10k. And yeah, this is still feeling very greedy for Lotac, but it's all going to come down to this Aghanim Scepter timing versus the versus whether or not they can hold on against the BKBs, how much Spectre is going to be able to get in terms of farm. If they win a fight and the Spectre has a Manta, they can potentially take the Roshan themselves, and that could be a pretty big turning point, but it still feels like TNC very much in control. Terrorblade, 12k net worth at this early stage. And Huskar, already with his BKB up, is just going to be going back for a Hurricane Pike a little bit later on. I don't know if they've seen Yamate lurking around these wards. He's in the area. He's running down. They caught a tiny glimpse of the Centaur Warrunner. Are they just going to jump in on this kill? They're actually going to look for Yamate instead. Ohio does manage to find a nice stop, but it's not be enough to save. They're going to pop the Global Silence just to ensure this kill on the Centaur. He's tanky, but there's so much damage between Cuckoo and Armel. Does cost them that first 10-second shiny BKB charge, but well worth it to find 2 kills, though TNC, can they segue this into some kind of building? Do have the Metamorphosis back up for Gabby. Tron doing his best. Ooh, they're hunting for him. It's only going to take 1 or 2 pickoffs on this Tinker for TNC to be able to close out this game. So it really has to be a super flawless Tinker game from Chuan. Roshan's still down for at least another 3 minutes, so plenty of time for Terrorblade to farm up that little bit more towards his BKB. Gabby has queued up a Scotty beforehand. I guess he's trying to delay the BKB until the last possible moment, but And Armel, I don't know what he's going to go for after the Hurricane Pike. Satanic, an option. MKB, also good. He's got some choices to make here. Gabby getting chased. He's going to be fine. This is just a little bit of harassment. And TNC, once again, all 4 bounty runes. Terrorblade all by himself, somehow grabbing this top bounty. And then also grabbing his own on this top side of the map. And that's... Alright, this net worth lead just continuing to grow and grow and grow. Clockwork, not really doing anything. He's battery assaulting to farm a Wildwing camp right now. And Ohio trying to move around and find some kills, but... it's really not working. He's just kind of farming. He does have a Crimson Guard up, but I don't think he is... I don't think he's increasing his team's survivability much faster than TNC's damage is going up. TNC's damage is continuing to stack up and up and up and up. Where's this Ags? Is it almost there? Alright, needs another 700 gold. Raven, it just doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot of farm on the map for him right now. Clockwork gonna get the hook away, trying for the TP out, but Cuckoo is waiting for him over in the neutral camp. It's a killing spree for him. I think we are starting to see a little bit of why Clockwork, not such a common early pick. I mean, this is the kind of the position. Is this position 5 Clock? No, Yamate is the position 5. This is position 4 Clockwork, but he just has nothing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh. Like a lot of other Lotac games, I guess it's now going to be falling to Raven on this Spectre to try and win it for them. Of course, the Tinker also going to be an important part of that formula. Yamate waiting in the trees, trying to push things out. And the scouting of Roshan has already begun. It can't respawn for another 20 seconds, but looks like Lotac may be losing track of that a little bit. And Ohio just going to be going back for a Heaven's Halberd. Of course, super duper useful against both the Huskar and the Terrorblade. Both of them probably need to think about MKBs this game against the Laser Blind and this Halberd coming up. Raven is still just super struggling. How many CS does he have? 168, so not that far down on the net worth charts, but the Tinker is still... Even though he's creating space, he's also taking space off the map. Like, mostly just farming lanes, not really able to farm the jungle at all. The dire vision situation is not great. They've got a little bit of vision to set up Spectre to be able to farm this tri-camp, but their entire jungle is dark, and the entire Radiant jungle is pretty dark as well. So it's Ohio's job to farm bottom. Top lane is just being completely abandoned. Tinker pushes it out every single time it gets to the tier 3, but not a ton of farm to be found. And Ohio, okay. Pressure on the Ninja Boogie, and then an immediate TP out. Roshan going to be up in 35 seconds time. Terrorblade, is he going to complete this full Scotty before going back for the BKB? Looks like he might be. Gabby might be planning on grabbing the next Aegis for himself, so that might be part of it. And Armel does go for the Monkey King bar after completing this Hurricane Pike. Pike going to be a little bit difficult for him to use, but he does have the Soul Ring to help out, and Lotac... This vision situation is just so bad. They're smoked, but they don't want to run blind up this hill. They see Cuckoo in the river. He's going to be going for a Radiance. Just needs a recipe to go now. Quite farmed on this Wraith King. And that's certainly helping to make up for any shortcomings with the hero being nerfed recently. Oh. Alright. Roshan being scouted. If there was ever an opportunity for Lotac, this has to be it. They do have the Aghanim Scepter up on the Tinker. The Haunt's going to provide vision. They've got... Can easily deal with the TB illusions, but at the same time, Tinker needs to be careful. The Global is always going to be able to come out, and Tim's is going to be hunting for him with the Cursed Crown and Yule. So if he gets caught, that's going to be big trouble. TNC. Alright, Aegis for Armel. Gabby with the cheese. AU, what is he doing over here? Just being annoying. Burns a tiny bit of mana. Fortunately for him, Cuckoo was already blinking away to go and farm this ancient camp. Otherwise, could have been a death for him. And a Terrorblade now with a full Scotty. 18.4k net worth, so far ahead of anybody else in this game. And BKB and Blinkdag are going to be the next 2 selections for Gabby. So he will also be part of the Tinker hunting crew at that point. Raven and Ohio, what are they hoping for down here? looking for some kind of a pickoff, but without the Manta, they've basically got no damage, so... Alright, just gonna call it quits. Net worth lead now up to 14k. TNC showing exactly what they're capable of when they get the laning stage win. Yamate, they don't even need the help from the Dark Willow. Cuckoo just punches him into his grave. Almost has the Radiance done. Gonna be very annoying for the Centaur Blink Dagger, for the Tinker Blink Dagger. Boogie... Oh. You're looking for the angle. Alright, does manage to find him, dragging him into these cogs. Can he get into the Shadow Amulet? Yes, he can. And, Boogie looking like he's actually just going to be okay. He's running it off now, hands it over onto Tims, who finishes the kill. Clockwork not doing the math on that one, and not bringing any detection. So Ninja Boogie easily deals with that. And now Gabby and Armel have just gone straight up onto the high ground. They're working on the tier 3. Gabby is going to get forced back. Ohio gets a stun in. Gabby force staffs in. He was hoping for the Sunder onto this Centaur Warrunner, but he's already taking a ton of damage. Pops the Stampede to get a little bit further back, but Armel just wants this tier 3, so he pops the BKB and will be able to take it down. Cuckoo not going to lose his Aegis quite yet off of the heat-seeking missiles. And TNC tier 3 and back themselves out. Metamorphosis about to fade. Tims has some Tranquil Boots, so he's more than happy to give Gabby that Sunder. And TNC just going to keep on claiming more and more map control. How is Raven's farm going? As we saw earlier, he at least has the Manta, but still a little ways behind any of the TNC cores. Boogie now has a Glimmer Cape, going to be going for a Gem next just to secure total map control, and this is just some really disciplined, very clean Dota from TNC. Looks like they knew exactly what they were doing. I mean, I don't think they were ever going to first phase ban the Spectre, but looks like they really weren't that stressed out by the Spectre pick coming in. Though this game is still far from over. It's only going to take 1 or 2 team fights for... It's 1 or 2 Tinker pickoffs for TNC to win the game, and it's like 1 or 2 team fights for Lotac to kind of come back. 17k net worth is a lot, though. And this Terrorblade, once he has BKB, is going to be an absolute monster. Ohio blinked to get in here. I don't have any way to cancel his TP scroll, though, so he's going to be okay. Tims is hoping to find the Tinker. This would be a big play. Tinker might be coming back to top lane once again. They've seen multiple heroes bottom, so he is coming up here. Is he going to be blinking over into these trees? Okay, no, he's blinking down. Tims might just have to wait for an opportunity a little bit later on. Just going to keep on camping this ward. And TNC. Alright, they put the gem over under the Wraith King. He's also going to be going for BKB, so triple BKB is the selection. Armel almost has MKB. Yeah, this triple BKB is coming up relatively soon. Oh. Tims, can he get the Yules? Oh, that was so close. Tinker only just barely able to get that BOT out. And if he gets that, he can get the solo kill. I don't think he has any trouble solo killing the Tinker in this situation. Tim's even going to pick up a Blink Dagger in a second. He is a Tinker hunting machine at this point. And as the pressure continues to mount, it's actually just harder and harder for Raven to find farm. He has managed to sneak out into his own jungle, but mid lane's getting pressured, bottom lane's getting pressured. And TNC, how much longer on this Aegis? So only another 30 seconds to go. It turned out to mostly be a farming Aegis for them. But 2 BKBs ready. Armel forward onto the high ground. They glyph their wave just to disable the backdoor protection. Cuckoo gets the stun up onto Ohio. There is going to be a nice Winter's Curse. It's back onto Armel, but he's actually still surviving. They're not doing that much damage to their teammate, so Armel's going to be just fine. Clockwork jumping in, but he's dead. Gabby force staffing himself forward, looking for more. Armel toggling the armlet. Still okay. Clockwork buying back. TNC looks like they are just going to take their leave. Aegis is being reclaimed. Gabby, if he could find a big Sunder, that could give them another opportunity to come up onto the high ground. They did get pretty good damage onto the range Drax. It's only got 7 HP left. And Armel drawing a big circle. I think the idea is, hey, let's just farm this. We'll farm their jungle, we'll cut the waves. And sure, Spectre might be able to sneak over into the Radiant jungle and grab some farm there, but they should be able to keep on pushing out this net worth lead even further. I would imagine the experience lead is also huge. Yeah, almost 15k experience. The levels for poor Clockwork, level 11. Yamate, level 16, at least has his Aether Lens, and Lotac actually smoking out at the moment. I think this is mostly a Vision expedition, but they would take a kill if they can get it. Tim's is looking for this bounty rune. Oh, he's gonna get stomped by Ohio. Can they save him? The Haunt coming in from the Spectre Raven, really wanting that kill. But they do also pop the global on the other side of things. Alright, that's pretty good. Nice scan usage. They had like no vision out here at all, but knew that somebody was going to be going for the bounties, and the TNC are in a good position, so someone was going to be feeling confident. Gabby, alright, he's got his Blink Dagger. And Raven does get his Diffusal Blade delivered. Okay, so his damage is pretty high. Still won't really be able to fight the Terror Blade all that well until he gets Abyssal Blade or something, and instead just going to be going for a... Yeah, I don't think Blade Mail is the answer. They're going to kill you just fine through Blade Mail. I think he needs this Basher. Gives him a little bit more of a chance to man fight against Armel and Gabby, who are still just so farmed. Tinker now going to be going for a Hex. Pretty close. Actually, wait, does he... Yeah, he pretty much has it. Might want to save buyback at this point as well, though, since if they lose one fight without Tinker, they're probably just losing the entire base. What's the buyback sitch? Hardly any buybacks here. Ninja Boogie, ooh, pops the sentry down. If they'd managed to find that catch, Cuckoo's still running forward, looking for it. Ohio using the Blink Dagger already. Gabby with a double damage is going to do very fast work on this melee barracks. Does get the reflection out. Tinker forced to retreat backwards. TNC staying split. Not going to give them a multi-man stomp. Gabby losing HP, but he's got the BKB and he's got the Sunder. He's just going to turn it around onto Ohio, who loses a bunch of HP. Runs into the brambles. Does get saved by the Cold Embrace. Huskar, Winter's Cursed. Yamate using everything that he's got in this fight. Ohio about to get right-click down. They lose Cuckoo, but it's only for the first time. Gabby still standing his ground along with Armel. They find AU in the back lines. All three TNC cores still alive, running their way out of here. They got the Lane of Rax, which is all they really wanted. And so they will retreat. Only 20 seconds to go on that next Cuckoo ultimate. Looks like Armel did pop the cheese in the midst of all of that. Gabby scouting the Roche, but not up just yet. So the Clockwork still, I mean, doing everything that he can in these fights, but that doesn't really amount to too much. Tinker needs another 900 gold or so to finish his Hex and still have buyback, though I don't think it's going to be easy for him to position in these fights. If he blinks in aggressively to go for a Hex, I think Tim's is going to be all over him. And Tim's is actually just waiting for him down bottom once again. Planting these high ground wards and waiting. Where is Tinker heading? He's farming some neutrals. Oop. Cuckoo blinking right on top of Yamate, but he manages to get the blink off. So Cuckoo has some time to sit up here and think about what he's done. Looks like the TNC plan has just become too tanky for Tinker to actually burst everybody down. We got Heart being worked towards by Cuckoo. We got Satanic being worked towards by Armel. And Tinker does only have a limited amount of damage per mana pool. So he might not actually be able to like kill any of these cores within one mana pool. Especially with the new Hex mana cost. I guess the Kaya helps out a little bit, but still, 225 is pretty brutal. What are we looking at? So it's a 270 rearm and a 225 Hex at the very least. So call it 500. So he's got 4, I guess actually 3 cycles with casting his other spells. That is rough. And alright, Tinker BKB queued up next. Tim's still hunting down here. He's just waiting for that one chance. Just wants Tinker to make that one mistake so that he can go for it. And the Tinker is kind of bait, though, since Lotac are also farming in the neighborhood. They just cheese and refresh a shard. Up for grabs. TNC just going to head straight in. Gabby going to be going for a Butterfly next. The Rocket Flare does scout this. Leave it on buyback status. Ohio running over, but Cuckoo is going to run interference. He's actually jumping in on top of the Clockwork. The Global Silence coming in. That's going to prevent the Spectre from jumping in here. Who actually found the Aegis? It is Armel. Raven's getting run down. He does manage to jump a little bit further away. Armel might be losing his first life. Gabby jumping in. It's only the Clockwork dead so far. On the other side of the fight, Tinker doing everything that he can, but he needs to go back to base for a second. Ninja Boogie is going to get Winter's Curse, so Armel quickly finishes him off. Cuckoo jumping forward. They've spotted Yamate. Tim's going to leave him with the Brambles. Assuming that Cuckoo can finish this kill, they're going to be chasing in even further as they now get Ohio down. Yamate takes a few more seconds to kill, but Cuckoo's got it under control. Even pump faking the auto attacks there. Tinker doing whatever he can to push out top, while Spectre is going to threaten bottom slightly, but Raven without a haunt, not very scary. And TNC... Cheese and Refresher Shard on the Terrorblade. Armel not feeling brave enough to just charge the high ground immediately. Cuckoo is going to go in though. He's got his heart. Once again, he's going to be the wall for the team as Gabby and Armel just go to work. They've already popped the Metamorphosis. Still have a really good duration on this. BKB is on cooldown for a little bit. Gabby goes blinking forward. Does manage to get the reflection off. And this is a very quick secondary lane of Rax. TNC. They can taste it. They're looking for that opportunity. They want that ticket to the major. Gabby gonna jump back in. They're gonna burst down the clockwork instantly. Raven forced back. The Scotty auto attack's doing so much work. Raven still just getting chased. Yamate's got the cold embrace. Buys himself a couple more seconds, but this is a pretty awkward spot for him. Does manage to get the blink away. No damage to cancel. Looks like Cuckoo couldn't quite get in range there with the Radiance. So, but Gabby, he just thinks that this is their time. He popped the Refresher Shard, so he's got another meta, he's got another BKB. Tinker doing his best to position, but he's not actually killing anybody. He's harassing, but no kills. All of TNC is still looking pretty healthy. Gabby backing up for a little bit more farm. And yeah, Raven's still a long way away from winning this team fight all by himself. It's 21-9, 24k net worth advantage over 20k experience. TNC just took this game from the early game and they ran with it. Oh, alright, they do get the combination down into the Dark Willow. Tinker finding a nice kill for himself there. Very quick D-ward as well from Cuckoo, however. Still another Dire Observer. Ohio's going for a Blade Mail. I don't know if that's really going to help him all that much. Gabby does so much damage. Pop the... Oop. Misclick. Pop the Metamorphosis. Nobody knows Gabby. It's okay. That is a little bit of a goof. I don't know if he was trying to micro the courier or what was going on, but alright. Metamorphosis for some faster farming speed. Oop, Ninja Boogie. Pops down a ward. Spots Yamate, who's also planting a ward. They both put down sentries. Who's going to get the D ward? Neither one of them manages to keep their observer alive. Ninja Boogie, Glimmer Cave TP out. That's a haunt used. Oh no, if only they had a Metamorphosis to go and punish this. They kind of want to, but alright. Gabby just going to grab his item instead. And TNC, this is a bit of a chance. Go for some offensive tips. Cuckoo is going to be going back for this pipe at long last. They didn't really have anybody else who wanted to buy it this game, so certainly helpful to have against the Tinker. Tim's is also picking up a Hooded Defiance, and Basher on the spec. He's actually got his completed Abyssal Blade. Oh, we got some... Ooh. We got some issues. Alright, and now we have a bathroom break. Really, guys? Am I allowed? No. I can't leave. Hard life of a caster, guys. But, okay, so they got the Abyssal Blade on the Spectre. I guess that is the one thing about going for this Vanguard first build. As soon as you get the Basher, you pretty much have the Abyssal Blade right away. If he can jump on top of any of these three cores, I think he can potentially kill them. Man, I'm just looking at the scores from all of the cores on TNC. 6-0-3 Armel, Cuckoo 7-0 and 12, Gabby 5-1 and 6. All of them having pretty fantastic time, and TNC with some technical issues, so I'm gonna have to fill a little bit of time here, but I don't think... Oh, actually, I'm about to say that I don't think Lotac are completely out of this, but I don't actually believe that. I think Lotac are really... They really got their backs up against the wall. I wonder if I buy Dota Plus right now, will I be able to access the Dota Plus graph? I don't actually have it. Should we find out, guys? I mean, there's 5 minutes of delay, so you guys can't even tell me. But let's just do it. Can I quickly resubscribe to Dota Plus? Let's just buy 1 month. I should buy the subscription, but yes. Ta-da! Nice. Alright, got my seasonal terrain. That's going to annoy me for the rest of forever. Now, how do I get to this graph? Where is it? I might need to reconnect. Maybe I have been... I've been scammed, guys. No, is there a hotkey for it? Spectator win chance. That's what I want. Bind it to... Wait, is keypad 3 bound to anything right now? I don't think so. No. Okay, well, yeah, we'll do that. Spectator win chance. All right. Show me the money. Okay, there you go. The win probability agrees with me. TNC in a good spot, close to what is that? Where do I say? Okay, 97% chance. All right. Well, there you go. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Dota Plus agrees with me. Even though Dota Plus loves Spectre. Dota Plus absolutely loves Spectre, but even with that, they're only giving Lotac 3% odds. And TNC, yeah, they still really wish that they had this metamorphosis, but only 50 seconds. Oh, actually, 50 seconds to go on the meta, 40 seconds to go on the haunt. That was a slightly expensive fat finger for TNC, but still doing okay. Gabby also going to be going for a heart. The plan against this Tinker just seems to be get so damn tanky that he can't actually kill you with a single mana pool, which I am not opposed to. TNC also, oh my god, Arcane Rune double damage on this Terrorblade. Okay. Alright, Gabby. Chill out. Tinker still hanging on to buyback. Does have enough money for his BKB now. And Raven is trying to get out to the creep wave to grab a little bit more farm. Man, how far can he go when he's off of the dagger? What the hell is that? Ice Frog, please. Ninja Boogie trying to be sneaky with the ward, but Ohio's got the gem, so it's not going to happen. They pop the pipe. There you go. Metamorphosis popped. Gabby, is he just going to go straight blinking in? No, they're going to try and siege this one out. Armel on the one side, Gabby on the other. They do get the Hex, but Cheon has to just jump back immediately. Ohio, it's a little bit of damage, but is it really enough? Cuckoo jumping in now into the backlines, providing the vision. Armel auto-attacking onto Ohio. Gabby's just going to play the objective. That's what they're really looking for. They want the Mega Creeps. The Crimson Guard is helping out a little bit, but they just can't get past the wall that is this Wraith King. Tinker going to try and come in. He picked up a Shadow Blade, but Cuckoo's just right on top of him. They're going to pop the Global. Ohio jumps in as if he could go for the Stomp, but the Global Silence is still on top of him. They're chasing down Armel. Tinker now buying back for his second life. They will bring down Tim's. Raven popping everything for that kill, but Armel wants to chase in even deeper. The Winter's Curse might bring him down. Cuckoo finishes him off. He's actually got an Aghanim Scepter. So, we do have the Huskar surviving a little bit longer to get some damage out onto Ohio. Gabby coming in, gets out a big Sunder. Can they finish this Ohio kill? Do they even need to? They've already got the Mega Creeps. I think they can just leave. Clockwork buying back once again. They forced out the Tinker buyback, so if Tinker dies now, that is... I mean, if it's... Dota Plus, what do you got for me? 99%. Okay. Yeah. I think TNC... probably feeling pretty confident at this point. All they need is one random pick off on Tinker, and that is going to be it. And Lotac are even smoking out. What are they looking for? Haunt is on cooldown for 50 seconds. They can get some D-wards. They still have their gem, but the lanes are in a truly terrible position, and I don't think there's any way for them to force TNC to use the buybacks. There's still a tier 1 tower standing here. They're going on Cuckoo, but who's actually going on who here? Cuckoo pops his Blade Mail and just starts charging in. He's got his reincarnation ready. Tinker is trying, and Cuckoo is just wondering, what are you guys doing? Is this actually an attempt on my life? Dark Willow does get hit by the Winter's Curse, but that's actually going to save him from Raven. Gabby's going to be able to come chasing in. Cuckoo... Oh, not even dead to the Arctic Burn. And now he's just going to go right back up to full HP. The Heart's about to kick in. The base is in shambles. Tier 4 is getting pushed into. Tinker already forced back to deal with that. And TNC just have to wait for their Huskar. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could wait for Roshan. Is it a fast Roshan respawn? No, it's not. 1 minute and 50 seconds. Spectre trying to farm a BKB. Lotac throwing whatever random items they can into their inventories before this final fight comes up. Cuckoo is already sauntering into their base, providing all the vision that the two big right clickers really need. Spectre is trying to cut the wave at mid. I don't think that really matters when the tier 4 is already under attack. Armel taking a tiny bit of damage off of Ohio. They're going to jump in on top of Ninja Boogie. He won't be able to get the global off, or will he? Now Armel is saved. The chain hex won't be there from the Tinker. They're actually chasing Tinker down over in the trees. The instant that he dies, that should be it. Monster kill streak for Cuckoo. Raven going in with the auto attacks, but he's being controlled, and that is the GG called. Your second team heading to Kuala Lumpur for the major is going to be TNC. They've got themselves a date up against Fnatic in the grand finals. I still don't know how serious that's going to be. They're both qualified. It does matter a little bit for seeding, but hope you guys enjoyed all the coverage. Lotac now having to set their sights on the minor. It's a relatively new team, but at the same time, relatively experienced players. And TNC were the better team here today. I think Lotac, you know, the strategy kind of getting exposed a little bit. It kind of worked in game 2. They give Raven the 1v5 hero, and he 1v5s, but game 1 couldn't really do it on the Tiny. Demon had some concerns about the way that they were playing and moving around the map, and how efficiently they were farming, and it does seem like they do have some kinks to work out. So there you go. TNC eliminating their former teammate in Raven from the competition. And I don't know exactly let me see if there's any details in Discord about this next match. Maybe I should message. Is it worth it to message one of the players and be like, hey guys, how serious is this next series going to be? I guess there's only one way to find out. You guys should definitely stick around and see what happens. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying all of the casting. Don't forget to go and check out the other regions for the Kuala Lumpur Major. There's of course other games going on. Look at this. There's Secret versus Alliance right now. That should be a pretty sick game. I don't know where in the series they are, but